It's Dash. They want us something different. Let me see your letting play. Let me see your letting play. I say let me see your letting play. Jamo, let me see your letting play. Let me see your letting play. Let me see your letting play. I say let me see your letting play. Jamo, let me see your letting play. Baby girl, got your I do that to my bring it. Somebody call it that I feeling kinda funny. She love that bag of money and I bet she's sweet. Let me tell the DJ to replay the music. Someone tell the DJ to replay the music. The time of me, my heart, I want Pajo to the plaster. They can't give me pressure. See the way she rocking it. I think she love me. I think she pass up. I think she pelle. Oh, she man now. I got the music, I let it play, man. Let me see your let it play. I say let me see your let it play. You're more, let me see your let it play. You're the one, let me see your let it play. Let me see your let it play, man. I say let me see your let it play. You're more, let me see your let it play. Fire, let me see your let it play. But wait now, let me see your let it play. I say let me see your let it play. You're more, let me see your let it play. Rock it for me, mama. Take it for me, mama. Rock it for me, mama. Take it for me, mama. Break it for me, mama. Drop it for me, mama. I say rock it, shake it. Shake your let it play. Shake it, rock it. Shake your let it play.
Sizzle, that rap fizzle. Before you hear the mock niggas, I know your next level.
All time, and I'm keeping it official by the launching of a missile. You got a chickle, make sure she beneficial. Get ready for the time rock home. I'm your boots by boom. That I be wreck about the time of this town. Hip hop, bring it down with the shine of sound.
She do my hula hunter, I do my own. She want to she get my knees over friends telling that I wanna use that bubble and I'm right. And you know that ain't alright. I have my knee in Brownsville, in all the field. But the main thing I have me that it went in Pinsville, and I'm right. And you know that ain't alright. I say things I used to see people he say I was crazy because I had a love. She definitely say I was Larry, but I took my own time. I had a story in my palm, but in my whole heart, brother, I swear I was grieving. She used to come before me, stop in car every evening. Where you going at? When your pa asked for me, tell him to just it high, and all of a sudden the camera pull up with his ride, and I was like, bye, and all the time I'm my brother, I swear I was blind. She used to leave me and carry on a funny line, but I kept it to myself because I feel that she my lover, and not because I let her, then she might have made me suffer, and I'm right. And you know that ain't alright, yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, man. I said she do her own, I do my own, and she want to, she get my knee to her friend telling that I wanna use that bubble, and I'm right. And you know that ain't alright. I have my knee in Brownsville, in all the field. But the main thing I have me that it went in Pinsville, and I'm right. And you know that ain't alright.
She do her own, and I thought I do my own, and she want to. She telling all my empty, then I'm a rapping boy, and I'm right. My get, I think I'm fair, and I'm right. I heard my name looking down when I went to go looking down. She calling my name all around, she even calling off time. The meeting I had me when we reached my mind involved time, and I'm right. My get, I think I'm fair, and I'm right. She catch me on the
All my girls that move, all my boys that move, all my babies north to the west to the east to the south we move. Move that body to the sound. Show me how you feeling.
Oh me, oh my lord, oh me, oh me. Demon watching, they won't see us fail. Which girl watching, they won't see us fail. Give me a chance, let me poo you. That you're well into, let me poo you. Give me a chance, let me poo you. That you're well into, let me poo you. Demon, call them Shaka Demon. Chimon, they belong in Chimon. Putting count to those that can't wait. You not pack on, you now around the place. Soon you bounce, see they took off them face. Jealous say we get them today. I say, demon watching, they won't see us fail. Which girl watching, they won't see us fail. Give me a chance, let me poo you. but me cannot stop my blessing. Man, you run things, why they stressing? Let me popo you, mama, on your wedding day. I buy the ring, I won't put it on you. Chicken soup, sweet jelly, chicken soup. Pepper soup, sweet jelly, pepper soup. Then I fight you, but you getting wild, well. Got a ring, and you got it, man, oh. Demon watching, they won't see us fail. Which crowd watching, they won't see us fail. Give me a chance, let me poo-poo you. On your wedding day, let me poo-poo you. Give me a chance, let me poo-poo you. That your wedding day, let me poo-poo you. Poo-poo, poo-poo. Poo-poo, poo-poo. Poo-poo, poo-poo. In that.
We'll like to carry our audience map back a little bit before the real discussion start. Let us start with this clip.
Ask has to do with the issue of you using your platform to degrade Liberian women, and I will give some instances. One, in 2016, when the Ministry of Labor was persecuting some Lebanese nationals for human trafficking of Liberian girls to Lebanon, you use your show to bring another young woman on your show who you claim knew the victims and castigate those victims as prostitutes on your show, and that they were lying on the Lebanese national while the case was in court. The Minister of Labor at the time was need to lie, and I was at the Ministry of Labor and we followed that. Two, when Canadian missionary was accused of raping and impregnating a young girl who lived with him, you brought that Canadian missionary on your show to talk about how he was the second coming of Jesus Christ and the people were lying on his name. Three, when the More Than Me saga happened, where the American Katie Myers Institute that she was running in West Point had an issue of sexual abuse, and some of those girls were abused and told, and some of them even contracted HIV and AIDS by Katie's boyfriend at the time, when she did not properly report that matter until later on, and that became a huge issue where the women of Liberia stood up and protested against it. You brought Katie Myers on your show and told her that she was doing a great job and that the Liberian women were jealous of her. Not only that, you've consistently degraded, denigrated, discussed, insult, and disrespect Liberian women on your show, to include, but not limited to, former Representative Josephine Francis, Otokane, Just Mappin Morgan, Vivian McGill, Safari, Madam Medina Wisa. The list is long of women you have done that to. The question is, women make up over 50% of our voting population and our population. You're contesting for the biggest county in Liberia, Maserado. And let's not forget Augustina Gray, who your friend Mo Ali had impregnated and tried to get to have an abortion, and you went on your show and called her a Hopo Joe. You now want the support of Liberian women as senator of Maserado County. What message do you have to give to Liberian women tonight in support of your bid, given your past history with denigrating, discussing, disrespecting, and demonizing them?
Thank you, Mariah. Thank you very much.
Mariah Kula, you
Yes,
say some of the worst things about me. I don't have any respect for you. I don't dignify you. Hold on, Santa, will you let me speak?
Answer the question.
Santa, I will not do that yet. Santa,
Mariah will not do this, Mariah. You have asked a fair question.
I will not do that.
You're given a chance to answer further.
But
Please
it should not be personal.
But
You will not respond to me personally.
I have the right to respond.
Mariah, do not interrupt him. Again, you will have your time.
Interrupt if it goes personal.
No, you will not interrupt, Mariah. You must give him a chance. Mariah, you must give him a chance to speak, please. Do not interrupt him. Costa, please.
All the women in the basket that I place Mariah Yakula. I do not respect. They insult me, but they expect me to not respond. Then they throw their hands up and say, I'm a woman. You don't know I am a woman? If you are a woman, you will respect yourself and respect how you talk to a man. If you disrespect me and you insult me and you expect me not to respond, I will respond to you. And Mariah, listen to me. I'm not counting on your vote. I'm not counting
you
on
will
it.
not get it. You didn't know that it's not about me.
Stanton, if this continues, I will have to leave this show.
Mariah, I hate to mute you because we didn't say we should do this show by talking over each other. Please. Again, you will have your time. Costa must speak. He's the guest. Please.
Mariah, I don't respect you. If you insult me, I will respond, which you often do. I will not care that you are a woman, because a decent woman does not insult a gentleman. She does not. A woman who throws insults at a gentleman and expects to be treated nicely like a queen is delusional. So if you want respect, you must earn that respect. All the other women you name, or you disrespect the other woman, you think you can turn the Liberian women against me? Right on this live feed. Let me talk to the Liberian women. All of you who know that I respect you, say it to her so she knows that. The women who disrespect me and they want to run and hide behind that womanhood, I will respond to you. You mentioned Eva Mapper Morgan. Mariah, I don't understand. Eva Mappy Morgan is one of the worst things that happened to the Liberian judiciary. She is a crook. The Supreme Court set up a joint inquiry committee that investigated her. And no, they condemned her. The report is there. Stanton?
Yes, please go ahead.
Will you take charge?
Costa, you need to speak. Mariah, please. Again, we just had a long, sorry you wasn't in our conversation this afternoon, because I think it was going to be important. We cannot interrupt. We cannot speak when they get speaking. Please consider it. When Costa is done, you will have your time to speak. Costa, please proceed.
Thank you. I hosted Chucky Taylor because Chucky Taylor wanted to be heard. I have no regrets. You guys run it. You host this platform that you don't agree with, that have done terrible things. You know, Voltaire said, I will defend your right to speak, even if I don't agree with what you say. I believe in that. So hosting Chucky Taylor is something you want to tie around my neck. If Chucky Taylor wants to speak, if Charles Taylor wants to speak today from The Hague or from London, wherever he is in prison, I will host Charles Taylor. Terrible people appear on platforms all over the world. So I make no apologies.
Harry Costa, we're going to be bringing in Sir Joseph because you'll be running against Sir Joseph. He's a sitting senator right now, and you want to unseat him. Before we do this, Mariah, please don't be too long because we ran over the time. I will give you another 30 seconds because you must say something, and let me give you the time. Just one.
Actually, wait my turn to Mariah.
No, we don't have no more other time. We're bringing in Sir Joseph. So let's give Mariah 30 seconds, please.
Okay. Thank you, Stanton. You know, this isn't personal. I would care less. Well, matter of fact, if Costa respects me, then there's a problem. Because at the end of the day, I will fear nobody. And I will not bite my tongue when it comes to the interests of the Liberian people. For the record, Costa knows I do not support him as senator of Montserrat County. He does
and
not.
I do not need your support.
What a senator is supposed to be for the county or for the nation. Henry Costa.
Good. Edwin Snow, the issue is about when the former vice president lost his mother-in-law, peace to her ashes. George Weah, through Edwin Snow, sent a $2,500 contribution to the former vice president. The former vice president never requested any money. It was unsolicited. Edwin Snow took the $2,500 to the former vice president. As a matter of courtesy for the president, the former vice president accepted the $2,500. I arrived in Liberia on that historic day on December 19th, and Edwin Snow was correct when he said that Costa was doing a protest. When I arrived on December 19th and we shut down the whole city, the next day on December 20th, George Weah took to ELBC to do an interview in which George Weah was angry. And Edwin Snow again was correct when he said George Weah was angry with the former vice president because the former vice president did indeed support our democratic right to protest. That's when George Weah went on a tirade and began to explain how when the mother-in-law died, I saved money, I did I want. So when he said that on ELBC, the country was outraged that the sitting president of the country would be talking like a small child. Oh, I fed him, or I gave money when your mother-in-law died. So the former vice president got enraged, and he responded because we asked him to respond to that. In my reaction, I raised $2,500 on the show, and I called the former vice president and said, this money that George Weah sent to you through Edwin Snow, which you did not request for, we, your supporters, want you to return this money to George Weah through the bearer of the money. The former vice president called Mr. Edwin Snow. Snow told the former vice president that he was in Abuja or someplace on an ECOWAS assignment, and when he returns to the country, he would go and see the former vice president, Joe Boakai. He did not do it. The former president called Mr. Snow several times. Mr. Snow did not respond. Then I reached out to Mr. Snow. I said, Mr. Snow, you brought this money. We want you to please receive this money and return this money. He laughed. He said, my man, I didn't take money. I didn't bring money to you. You and I saying got no money to. I said, no, but the former vice president asking you to take the money back. You don't want to take the money back. And we are his supporters. We raised this money to give it back because we are traditional people. When you do something for somebody, you don't go to the public, especially when the person did not ask you for it, you don't go and talk about it. Edwin Snow told me he himself was embarrassed by what the president did. He told me that. He said he was embarrassed. That is the reason why he was not responding to former Vice President Boakai's phone calls. So then I said, you know what? I asked my people to take the money to the former Vice President because I was back in the States. Edwin Snow did not go to receive the money. To date, the money is still waiting. If Edwin Snow goes for that money today, we'll give it to him to carry it back to George Weah. Snow has not gone for that money. The message that the former Vice President sent him, Snow sent me that message. The former Vice President sent me that message also. The former Vice President told him that you embarrassed me. You brought this disgrace to me. I never asked you for money. That was the context. He never explained the context. The man never threatened his life. Joe Boakai used to like Edwin Snow. He used to call him my nephew. Edwin Snow is trying to find a frivolous excuse as to why he left the Joe Boakai camp. Edwin Snow never stays in a camp that is not in power. He always finds a camp that is in power to be in power or close to power. That's not why he left. Let's not be fair. Snow left because Joe Boakai did not win the election, period. When Joe Boakai wins in 2023, Snow will try to find a way to come back, but people like us will ensure that he does not come back around. So the issue of the matter is, Stanton, I know about this whole situation, about those text messages, because Snow knows he and I talk about those things, and we have the $2,500, and Snow should take that money and carry it back to George Weah. Joe Boakai did not threaten Edwin Snow's life. Joe Boakai was very, very, very pissed off that Edwin Snow brought the money. And when Weah went on radio and tried to embarrass the former vice president, he wanted the money returned, and Edwin Snow refused to receive the money and take it back. You brought me money that I did not ask for. I'm asking you to return the money. My supporters are asking you to return the money. You refuse to come for the money. So, Stanton, I want you to ask Edwin Snow, why didn't he go to receive the $2,500 from Ambassador Boakai and return it to George Weah? I want you to ask him that question.
Okay. Costa, we want to say thank you. Edwin Snow heard your question. You can just pause a little bit. We have to go to Edwin Snow. You have confirmed the text messages was actually from Jose Yima Boakai to Edwin Snow. Let me ask you, why did you include Madam Salif's name in a Facebook message to Edwin Snow? Costa is off.
Yeah.
All right. Edwin Snow.
Going back on because that's a better line. So put Costa back on. Let me say why he called it, why he referred to Madam Salif now as God. Put him back on. Let him finish. Then when you finish, Clinton, I demand that you play the recording I just forwarded to you. Don't tell me to send no James. I don't have James' contact. I got your contact. You play.
Yeah, but you gotta
also
listen now. No, listen. When he's on my phone, I cannot forward it to James. Okay. So I'm
okay. I don't have James' contact.
I'm using one number here. Just hold on. Costa is calling back. Hold on. Pedro, you guys gonna take us to 1 a.m. in the morning, but it's good. Talk to us. The question was, why did you include Madam Salif in a post concerning Senator Snow?
Because I heard Senator Snow say, and he kept trying to make it a point, that the fact that Ellen did not support Joe Boakai means that there's something wrong with Joe Boakai. Whereas Edwin Snow knows exactly why Ellen did not support Joe Boakai, knows the truth, but he's playing the fool. And he's not a fool. Now, I'm not a fan of Edwin Snow, but this much I will tell you. Edwin Snow knows the politics of the day. And he knows very, very well. For him to sit there and make it look like, and the reason Ellen did not support Joe is because it has something to do with Joe. Ellen did not support Joe because Ellen knows that she and Joe did not steal the Liberian people's money together, and that she felt that Joe would not protect her. She went all over the place telling everybody Joe was not giving her assurances that he would protect her, and Joe kept telling her, but Ellen, what did you do that you need protection? And why did she support George Weah? George Weah went all over the country telling people that I will protect the president or the former president. Now, Edwin Snow is trying to make people think that his support and Ellen's support, without their support, Joe Burger cannot be president. That was what I was telling. Go tell you and your God, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that unless Ellen is God, which she is not, we will win the presidency in 2023. And you, Edwin Snow, my dear good friend, you will be right there. You will be well and alive, and nobody will do you any harm. You know Joseph Boakai could not do you any harm. You know Joseph Boakai cannot kill a fly. And for you to try to make it look like your life is at risk, man, Edwin, come on, man, stop playing that game. Joseph Boakai will never harm you, never. So don't.
So Edwin Snow, Costa is listening to you.
Harm you.
Edwin, Costa is listening to you.
My response to Costa is for you to play while I say this, Stanton. Play while I say that's my only response I have.
So Joe Boakai did not condemn tribalism because Joe Boakai is a sadistic, unrepentant, unapologetic, tribalistic old man. That is what Joe Boakai is, and that is the only thing Joe Boakai knows how to do because he exploits tribalism. So, well, I guess.
Don't say you what 2017 first round election rhetoric.
Exactly.
Does Edwin want me to send him recordings of listen to me, Stanton? Edwin Mervyn Snow, who says some of the nastiest things about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that he worships today. I exposed Edwin Snow in 2012. He, Alex Tyler, James Barney, and Emmanuel Nukwe, when they brought the chairman of Gazprom, the Russia state-owned gas company, and he, Edwin Snow, was representing the company. I exposed him, and he came up publicly and confessed to the nation that Ellen didn't want him to own his own private jet, that he brought his investor, and Ellen left him in a palaver hut. Ellen was something that they own the country, and blah, blah, blah. The same Edwin Snow that called Ellen, that called Rob Salif an enemy of the country. The same Edwin Snow that said Ellen was a demon. It's the same Edwin Snow sitting on your platform today saying all those nice things about her, and he wants to play my voice from a campaign time against Joe Boakai, and Edwin Snow, who is a political chameleon that jumps from place to place, and Edwin Snow, who married to Charles Taylor's daughter and turned around and accused Charles Taylor's ex-wife of planning to kill him, and Edwin Snow, who was against George We are through all and said we are not fit to be president in 2017, but today is we are best buddy and Edwin Snow. Oh, come on, Stanton, man. You don't know Edwin Snow. Welcome to Liberian politics, my brother Stanton. And Edwin Snow, who went on OKFM and cried, crocodile tears, that he regrets the role he played in bringing one of the worst concessions to Liberia APM terminals. And Edwin Snow, who said when he went to the port of Tema, he cried because he saw what APM terminal does there versus what APM terminal does in Liberia. The same Edwin Snow who distributed the 300 iPads to lawmakers and the bribes to dole out the APM terminals deal. Are you kidding me? Edwin Snow, you and I don't stand on the same pedestal.
Who presided over the Senate when the APM terminal deal was passed?
In your life is stolen from government. You and I don't stand on the same pedestal. Everybody knows you, and that's why your words carry no weight. You left from District 6 and went to an impoverished Bomi County to become representative there. A political chameleon like you, a sleazy fella. All you do.
Who presided over the Senate when the APM terminal deal was passed?
Costa, Edwin Snow is asking you a question. Honorable Snow, go ahead.
Who presided over the Senate, the APNG dogma? Who presided over the Senate when it was passed? Who signed it?
Baka never have voting right. The Constitution is very clear.
You are dividing the money, the blind money.
Yeah, you can understand that. And you even admitted publicly on that.
You know, Stanton.
You participated in it.
All right, so I believe anybody have questions for Costa before I beg you, Honorable Snow. Anybody have question for Costa because he will believe it. Thank you very much, Pedro. And you got a question? Go ahead, Mariah. Ask Costa your question.
Honorable Snow Edwin played a video, and I mean there are several of those videos, and Costa attributes it to politics and political times, and it was in the middle of campaign, and at the time he wasn't supporting Ambassador Boycott. Now he is, and he calls Senator Snow political chameleon, and they're now on the same pedestal, and he said some very nasty things about Ambassador Boycott, and I think there's another video where he calls him wicked and corrupt. What makes you different from Honorable Snow, who you claim said worse things about Madam Sharif and now supports Madam Sharif, when you also said nasty things about Ambassador Boycott and you now support him? What makes you any different?
Mariah Kula, you were an unapologetic, avowed campaigner for Joe Boakai. You supported him, you believed in him. The only reason why you no longer support him is because you are a paid staffer of Ellis Cummings. I assure you, if Cummings wasn't paying you thousands of dollars a month, you would still be supporting Joe Boakai because you tell people in private that you still believe in Joe Boakai better than Cummings.
That's a blatant lie. And you trying to cross?
He's not on the screen. He's on the phone.
No, but
he's wait. Do not interrupt me. Hold on. Let's have some decorum here. Hold on. Listen.
I dare you to call one person name that I said.
Mariah, you gotta win now. Mariah, you gotta win. Mariah, you gotta speak. We will come back to you. Go ahead, Pedro.
Let me tell you something, Stanton. The Joseph Boakai I knew is not the Joseph Boakai I came to know. The Joseph Human Boakai, a man who worked for 25 years in public service with untainted record. The Joseph Boakai I thought I knew, the things we heard during the political season that were said. Those things do not represent Joseph Boakai. That is why, Stanton, I went to the nation apologetically in the second round. And I told them, I have come to know Joseph Boakai. He's a decent man, and I would be confident having him serve as my president. And even after George Weah reached out to me and called me, I decided to go with Joseph Yoman Boakai, because what Joe Boakai would have brought to the country and would bring to the country when he becomes president would be much, much significantly better than anything Ellen or George Weah could have done. So let me say this to you. I was under the impression that those things that people wanted to, those things that they were manufactured by him, I came to find out that that is not who Joe Boakai is. The Joe Boakai that I support, that I've come to know, that I have tremendous admiration, respect, and love for, is a decent, humble public servant, not the likes of Edwin Snow, who built mansions everywhere, having looted the country from a driver for Syria Island to a multi-millionaire today, but a decent, humble man who served
the officers of the headquarters of police. Now you are here before journalists. What have you to say concerning such allegations?
Thank you very much. The information that circulating around my knowledge. I know nothing about what we for the question. The 21st, we went to City Hall, just to call. And not live on average anywhere. Then what these people are living. I get information through the media. So I will fall or kill it or someone. What you're talking about, I know the body.
Have you had an interaction before?
No, I know the woman first before. I know I lived there.
What specifically did the police ask you about when you went in there?
Oh, the police only tried to get information from me. What I did, what we to profit. So the people are living, and no one don't that woman first. Not good and not
there are a lot of people that work at the to somebody threatening the president.
No. No, I said no threatening.
What are you about to claim? You threatening him?
No,
is that your account or is a false account?
But a false account.
Which one of private do you
live? Can you clarify to Liberians? You made a statement that you teach a school and you teach students, right? And you also said that you spend bulk of your time at the Monrovia State Corporation. So how do you reconcile that statement?
Oh, you know, at the time I was teaching in Banjo, my brother was in Banjo. I lived there. 2010 to this time. From I learned to profit, basically, I live basically. Let's start in a first and if when they go to my house, I live 7th Street of Chrissy Pulley. I only go teach my brother and help the children teaching that's on the track.
Mr. Telly, what is this costing you as an imam? Or is it costing you?
I've been teaching the Arabic children.
Are you moved by this allegation, or you think it's just something of propaganda that they want to say against you because you are working with the mayor who happens to be one of the major players in the government?
Yeah, but I believe it's a propaganda because the mayor had tried to get my profile to councillor. Sheikh Sakor.
Okay.
How do you know that? Sheikh Sakor been with me from 1994. Sheikh Sakor is a PM black money man in Guinea. He do a business in Guinea. He escaped to come from Benjamin in 1994. I don't know Sheikh Sakor. He went war with me from 1994 to 1995. Okay, April 6th, okay, to Monrovia. And you and myself will do a common business. I don't know if they are coaching from nowhere. That Sheikh Sakor, who my hand came into coaching. Show me to coach you at the time when that's a relationship between me and Sheikh Sakor. I don't know coaching from nowhere.
Tari, do you have firearm in your possession?
Nothing. That firearm, you see me in a vest. And in the vest, sitting in car. At the time, World War II, 2003. That is.
Yeah, before
the Monrovia State Police Director said that was 1994, and you are saying it's 2003. That's a big gap in the year.
So tell
ask me.
Yeah, so please.
Okay, so tell it.
Yes,
okay.
Sir, the time.
So Vali, as we conclude this interview, what have you to say to Liberians?
Please, yes, sir, Vali. The question is, you just said it was 2003, and the Monrovia State Police Director said it was 1994. So how can you commensurate those two differences in a time? Following your Facebook
Do you have a problem with your eyes? Do you have a problem with your eyes? I have a problem because of accident. Since when have you been facing a problem with your eyes? Little accident on my face. Since when? It happened in 1994. Since 1994? 1994 when we took to Banga.
Was it because you didn't attend your daughter's naming ceremony because it's alleged that your eyes were the issue that you didn't attend your daughter's naming ceremony on the 26th of February? No. Did you attend your daughter's naming ceremony, sir? You did not attend. Why? Following your Facebook post.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Is it having any negative impact on your family? Are they telling you that, oh, because people alleging they come into our house, they're doing this, they're doing that? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Since when did you
in what context? In what context?
How well do you know your son?
He did a lot of killing in Sino County. He's a very dangerous killer. He entered there and carried out the operation. When he entered the house, he had nothing on his feet, and he had no top, no shirt, no dress, no nothing. And he entered with short pants. The intention was to sodomize, that was the plan, to sodomize the justice. When he got in, the reaction of the child who tried to prevent him, the children who tried to prevent him from entering her private premises, he killed one and wounded the other. And when he got in as far as the justice, she had a pepper spray. And that was her last defense. She sprayed him a lot. And so his plans was aborted. He didn't succeed in doing what he wanted to do. The children got injured, and I think she was touched a little bit. But Jefferson Koji is the one who ordered that hit on Justice Musu Scott. And as we all have realized, killings have gone on. We have reports that we have timing when to release. The 3 missing boys, that one was directly done by President Weah himself. The killing of Banten Yinsua was done by agents of the very Huji. We have a full comprehensive report on that. And the killings go on and on. It's a sad state for our country. There's a lot that needs to be done. We hope that the international community will come in and do what they have to do. But reports have been ready. Reports have been sent out of the country already. And I'm just going through the synopsis. Who, when, where. Most of the things we haven't found out is the objective, except they are just killers who believe they have to kill. We are still investigating the motives and the objectives. We don't have much.
So,
but with respect to, yes, ma'am.
Yes, Councillor, we would like to have the opportunity to just ask you at least one question each. How do you know this, Councillor? How do you know that Koji has some sort of connection to this killing? How do you know this?
There are 2 things. We will be asking government for an investigation, an independent inquiry into all of these deaths. We have the evidence. We are on the ground. We monitor movements on the ground. We have people within the government state apparatus who communicate with us, and we verify. We do not rely on one evidence from one person. We verify most of what we say, and that's how we get to know. There are a lot of things going on that we monitor when it comes to corruption, human rights violation, and crimes against humanity. We monitor them very closely.
Thank you, Councillor. Honorable Falcon, do you have a question for the councillor? You muted. You muted.
You are muted, Falcon.
It said you can tell who they wants the name. Is it Vanny or Valley Taylor?
VARLEE, Valley.
Valley Taylor.
Not Taylor, but Taylor. Taylor, TELLAH.
Oh.
He is the deputy for operation at Montreal City Hall Police.
Okay. He once was with the Ulimoke and the ATU, as we know now.
The ATU, yes. He did a lot of killing in Sano County.
And like you said, you don't know what the motive is. The motive is not clear, but you are confident enough that it was Jefferson Koji that ordered the hit.
Precisely. And I'd like to add that Jefferson Koji wasn't satisfied with the work. He refused to see the guy after the work was done, and he paid him off through a third party. And he told him specifically that he wasn't sent to kill a child. He had a target. And killing an innocent baby is not part of his work. It was not part of his mission. So Jefferson Koji refused to meet the guy, and they had this altercation. And Koji sent his balance money to a third party who delivered it to him.
Wow.
Koji wasn't satisfied with the outcome because a child was killed.
Well, if you're just joining us, you are watching Spoon, and Council Radio has just kind of did a breaking news here. He is connecting Koji to the attack killing of Mrs. Gloria Scott's daughter to someone in Moravia City Hall. Leo Johnson, do you have a question for Councilor Radio?
Yeah, I just, Councilor Radio, thank you for joining. I just have a question. I'm usually, very careful with these kind of things because I try to.
Let me welcome you to the Magnificent Abraka Talk Show here. We discuss the truth and nothing else but the truth. With me here tonight, we have our guest, and our guest will be able to introduce ourselves, as you all know. We have here my friend and brother Francis. Brother Francis, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. So now I got two Kamaras on the show, so I'm by myself. But Kamara, we need to do better about the other Kamara. Captain, what's up, girl? I running chicken pulley already on you.
Oh, am I on?
Yeah, you're on. You're on right now.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I'm all right. How you doing?
Life is better in my little corner, though.
Okay, I can see you.
You can't see me. You gotta tell me to make sure you see me, but I can see you. Because you guys have two cameras on the other side. That's why maybe you can't see me.
I'm having some technical difficulties. I really can see you. I can see the main host, the other camera, but I can see you. So, but I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's very better.
Okay. Brother Francis, let's go ahead strictly into the discussions.
Okay. Let me pull my other device and I got multiple ones here. So it is actually only there ones to sleep. All right, folks. Let me just introduce the topic. All right, for our guest, she already got it, but also for our audience. Tonight, we're changing the flavor a little bit. You know, it is fascinating. We just listened to political drama, past political drama, and now we're coming in with something that is disturbing us in our community in real time. So tonight, our topic is domestic violence in America, Liberian community as a case scenario. Our guest tonight, as you can see, her executive in an executive suit, ready to roll. Our guest panelist is Mrs. Catherine T. Kamara, MSW, and Certified Child Welfare Specialist. I want to talk plenty, y'all. Let me shut up. So, Catherine, please introduce yourself. You already got a topic. I know you're ready to dive into it. Let me now do my political chichi on you. Go ahead, yeah, mama.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name again is Catherine Kamara. I'm a master social worker and also a certified child welfare professional. Besides that, I do other things. I do entertainment and films and all that stuff. But tonight, We're gonna be talking social stuff, social topic, domestic violence.
Okay. Okay, you hear it for yourself? I mean, we have one of the gurus in the house. So let us start with you, Brother Francis. Why is it that you deem it necessary by this time for us to be able to discuss such a unique topic? Why?
Yeah, Abby and Mrs. Kamara, our audience following us, folks that are watching us right now. You know, we are Liberians, regardless of where we are right now, but we are Liberians. So, and I know very well we do a lot going back and forth Liberia. Some of us, some people not doing that. But we live in this community like permanent, whether we are citizen by paper or we are on some kind of paper where they call green card or white permit, whatever you call it. Philosophers say where you find everything you can find, that's where you call your home. We might have come from different places all over the world, but we live in America, and there are a lot of things going on in America in our local communities that kind of have a negative impact on us, on our family, on our children. For example, like I usually use the school district scenario. Do we know what kind of curriculum our children or the school district using for our children to learn? Probably we don't care. Do we go to PTA meeting? Do we participate when board is taking decision about the school district? Do we know what kind of nutrient that consists of the food our kids are eating in those various school districts that we live? Do the teachers actually understand our culture? Do we seek to go to a final, to sit down with the teachers or maybe the principal of our children's school, for example? Or do we go to do overtime? Too many questions that we can't answer. But the one that have really, really, really gone to a point where personally, my personal experience, because of what I do, is the issue of domestic violence. And for the purpose of our audience, I live in North Dakota, so I'm going to use the North Dakota statute or the law. So North Dakota statute define domestic violence in this manner. Let's say domestic violence includes physical harm, bodily injury, sexual activity compared by physical force, assault, or the infliction of fear of imminent physical harm, bodily injury, sexual activity compared by physical force or assault not committed in self-defense on the complaining family or household members. So our sister comes from a background of social work and also child welfare professional. So I am looking at the negative impact on our community today. What can we do to mitigate or to minimize, especially the outside of the definition? Because, for example, just about 3-5 days ago, for the purpose of respect for the family, I'm not going to call nobody name, for example, in my little corner, right? Somebody and another somebody had a misunderstanding, two partners. All right. So don't do that. Okay, no, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it if I'm on my way out.
It is the question that I asked you, that's the question that you are still addressing.
The question still answering because we gotta get a overview of our conversation tonight. So the question, you ask question, have to expand the question. You want to know my interest, my reason of, or our reason, that may not be my reason, coming up with this topic because we every day we talk politics, AB, every single day. This woman does talk politics every day. You know that, right?
I don't know that. I said she said it to me.
Okay, she will say it to you. She will say it to you. So, in a nutshell, my people, this thing is disturbing us. And the funny part about it is people are actually inviting the police to our homes outside of the state definition of domestic violence. Okay. Just because I disagree with you, then you mess with me, you call police on me. Another question I want to ask Catherine and our audience, hopefully our ladies can call tonight. Why the men are not calling the police? Majority of the cases, the women are calling the police. Why some of the women are getting arrested even though they call the police? So our relationship, somebody was being called honey, somebody was being called sweetheart on the both ends. How come the anger level have gone to a point where we can no longer handle it as Africans through our parents, our friends, our pastors, our imams, and all of that? Only the police can solve it. And the police, through the court, is now also solving it, and families are getting messed up and the children are in shambles. Those are the reasons why we decided to discuss this tonight.
Okay.
And hopefully we can get other panelists in the future to join to. I know Catherine gonna be here whenever we need her. I know that for sure.
My sister Catherine, Catherine Kamara, welcome once more to the Manelson Abraka Talk Show. Here we discuss the truth. Let me understand a little bit of your background. I want to know a little bit of your background. I mean, tell our audience, who Catherine is and what Catherine is mainly involved in, and what caused you for you to be concentrated or for you to be mainly focused on the job that you are focused on today.
Okay, well, I'm in a helping profession, so overall, my job requires a lot to know a lot about emotional, mental, behavioral, psychological, social. There's just a lot of things that social workers do. Right now, I'm certified as a child welfare professional, where I work in the child welfare department. Um, I'm My agency is contracted by the Department of Human Services, where we provide ongoing services for children in their homes to ensure that they're safe, their basic needs are being met, and they have permanent homes to live in. So that's what I specialize in. But overall, when it comes to the social work profession, I have knowledge on every aspect of what the profession looks like. So tonight, I was invited tonight just to talk on domestic violence, what it looks like, what are the factors of domestic violence, why people stay in domestic violence, um, how people can leave a domestic violence relationship. So I mean, if you're ready for me to get started, I
Yeah.
guess as we go along, we can stop and ask questions and stuff like that. I
Sure.
heard where
Francis.
Mr. saying in regards to like some issues or concerns in the community, but I wanted to talk overall on what domestic violence is.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So you have the floor now. Just go ahead.
Okay, so first I want to start off by saying domestic violence, and Francis did a great job with giving us the definition of what that looks like. Domestic violence has to do with aggression from one partner to the next. It's not limited to any race, it's not limited to any culture, it's not limited to any sexuality. It usually involves partners. It could be heterosexual partners or homosexual partners, whatever. But the basic of it is domestic violence involved partners who are in intimate relationship. Okay, and there is a need of control from one partner. So one partner feels like they are in control of the relationship. So, for the purpose of this podcast, we will refer to the person who feels the need of control. We'll refer to them as the batterer or the aggressor. And the aggressor could be the man, or the aggressor could be the woman. The batterer could be the man, or the batterer could be the woman. Majority of the time, when we hear about domestic violence, we always think, oh, it's the man that's causing the violence. But just to be clear here and transparent, that women can also be the aggressor or the batterer, and men can also be the victim. So the first thing to understand, you know, about domestic violence is that there's a need for control. So one partner sees the batterer or the aggressor, the one who causes the violence, see their partner as a possession, and they treat their partner as an object. Okay. So there are some signs to look for in a domestic relationship for you to know, like, domestic violence is happening in our home. Some signs to look for are physical signs. So the person might, like, again, it could be the man or the woman, but majority of the time is women who are involved in um the battering, meaning they are the one who are really we get to come out and talk about it. A lot of men don't come out and talk about it. Mostly the women we see talking about, oh, I was in a domestic relationship or domestic violence relationship. But some signs to look for, and y'all can stop me at any time, because I was hoping, I will talk about the first one, and then we can have conversation around it.
Yeah.
And then you ask, you guys can do your, come in, and then I can go to the next step and
Okay.
stuff like that. So the first thing I'm talking about is, the dynamics of domestic violence and what it entails. Again, the batterer or the aggressor, the person who causes the harm to the victim, is in need of control, and again see that person as an object and as a possession to them. And usually the violence is learned from childhood. You can learn the violence from a peer, you can learn it from childhood, or also that person could also be the one who was being abused as a child, and they tend to take that into their relationship. And when I say abuse, there are different type of abuse, but for this podcast purpose, I'm focusing mainly on physical abuse. So, so that the batterer could most likely be abused also as a child. So as an adult, they take that into their relationship, that control, that possessiveness into their relationship, and they feel the need to cause some type of harm to that person because they want to be in charge and they want to be the boss. And again, they learn it from childhood. So I would stop right there to, the underlining, or the start of what it looks like when it
So
comes to.
yeah. So my question is that. So you as a man. So is it that you have to do something that will cause harm to your partner, that you people will refer to it as domestic violence, or it is something that because some women, and I will say this, some women love men to beat them.
I
So,
got into that part.
okay,
I
okay, okay,
got into that part yet.
okay,
Why?
okay.
Yeah. So the first part is just defining what domestic violence is, how what the underlying issue of domestic violence, the
Yeah.
cause of domestic violence. So
So,
that's
so,
that's
so
the first part.
okay. Now, my next question is: so when two partners are in relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and this partner causing more violence to the other partner, but it is not harmful. It is not harmful because the other partner is not talking about it. It is not harmful because the other partner, it is not making other people for them to be aware. As we may be aware in our African settings, they say what you do in your home remain in your home. So what you do in your home remain in your home. That means to say that whatsoever that is happening in your home should remain between you and your husband. It is not prudent enough for you to be able to carry outside. Is that what we are talking about here?
No. Just because it's not something that maybe you would share with the public or go ahead and tell somebody that is happening in your home, there are signs to show that domestic violence is happening in the home. So we can get into that. Some signs to look for that domestic, and it's not just any argument that causes a violence. When we talk about domestic violence here, we're talking about some type of aggression to the other partner that cause some type of physical harm. Okay, so there's some type of injury that is being caused, not one or two times, but it's continuous. So signs that people would look for are signs of injury on that other partner. It don't have to be the woman. The aggressor, the batterer does not have to be the woman. So if I, for example, I'm in a domestic relationship where violence is involved, and my husband beats on me all the time, if I go to work, if I go to a occasion, somebody will see the bruise on me. They might see the bruise on my face. They might see the bruise. I may choose not to talk about it. I may choose not to tell anyone. But again, when the batterer is causing this abuse, because sometimes we're gonna talk about safety plan. There's a lot we're gonna talk about. Because I don't want for nobody to know about it. I want to protect my partner. Sometimes I may hide my emotions.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean that.
but it is not always time that bruises come on the skin, because some people's skin are very, very different. Some people have different skin. We have different kind of skin. Some people, when you beat on them, the mark show. Some people, when you beat on them, the mark does not show at all.
I'm just talking about the physical aspect of it first, the injury. The injury may not show, but there are also emotional signs that involve.
Okay. Okay. Let,
Okay.
let, 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 let me turn it over to Francis, so Francis can be able to ask his first questions.
Yeah, Catherine, honestly, that is the reasons why we're using Liberia community or Liberian community as a case scenario. I am very much disturbed about the myth that our community is kind of trending because of what I do. I know it. When you look in our community, for the most part, about probably 90 to 95% of reported domestic violence are true. And that's why prosecutors are now winning in court. So, like I said earlier, let's take for instance the definition you gave, the definition on my computer based on North Dakota statute. Most of it in our community you don't find it. And that's why I am interested in going a little more further. For example, Catherine, let me just put it to myself. I and my partner having a situation, let's say disagreement, for example. Then I agree with me. But that's what I'm going to do. So they're trying to mess with me now because I decided to do it. I decided to disagree with them. So boom, I walk away, and before I come back to my house, I get arrested. That's the thing though. The law in America, the culture, law enforcement culture, a lot of us don't understand it. So somebody take the phone and call 911, they are standing clean, nothing happened to them. Just because their partner said they disagree with them, they call 911 that, hey, he hit me. That's the sound coming from. What are some of the
But people lie all the time. Partner.
Reasoning for that? That people just lie on their partners.
Yeah, but it's true. Couples are gonna lie. They're gonna say, they're being abused, or somebody hit on them, and then of course, like you said, the law will handle it and do the investigation. But my thing here is what I'm trying to talk about overall is what domestic violence is, what it looks like. Some people stay in it. What are some signs to look for when it's happening? How to safety plan to get out of it if you want to get out of it. I'm not couples fight and they argue all the time and they have disagreement. In America here, when you can fight your partner, you may not cause any kind of physical or emotional harm to that person, and they can call the cops on you for anything. If the cops come, the cops gonna use their judgment. They're gonna see, okay, if the cops come and your spouse say, oh, he was beating me up, or he was punching me, or he kicked me in the stomach, or he did this. These cops gonna use their clinical judgment or their judgment as a whole to decide whether yes, there is an abuse that is going on. So It just doesn't involve domestic violence. Is just not an argument between you and your spouse lie on you. Domestic violence entails certain factors, certain things. Okay, domestic violence, like I said, it starts from childhood. There are some psychosocial things involved. Um, uh, a person learns some type of aggression. It mostly has to do with aggression and violence. These are why people who are the batterers go and seek help, go into anger management classes. So I'm not just talking about here a basic fight between you and your partner lies on you and call the cops. I'm talking about the dynamics of domestic violence and what it looks like, the aggression, the battering, why people stay in it, why people beat them up and hurt them seriously and injure them, to the point of killing them. So that's what I was hoping we was talking about, not just a argument where the person lie and then they call the cops.
Yeah. I kind of get that. But let press forward. I mean, like for me, I am interested in knowing more about the sound,
Okay.
to watch out for.
Okay.
Where in case I've been observing this lady, and this lady invite me to her home. Take for example, and then I went to the woman home. What are some of the signs that I need to check for before I can be, before I can feel relaxed to be able to depend, to be able to take that woman at a higher esteem? What are some of the signs that I need to check for? What are some of the signs?
Okay, I'm really trying to understand your question when you say what are some of the, are you talking about in the in the initial stage of your relationship? You're trying to determine if domestic violence is involved, because that's not what it looks like. Domestic violence is you're already in an intimate relationship. There is a person who is aggressive and violent.
Yeah, let me make it short in any way. What I'm saying is that you know that we are in this country, and job is causing most of us to be, we spend time on our job than the time that we spend home. So let's take for example, I am in a relationship with this young lady, but this young lady always paying visit to me. Now there is a time that this young lady invited me now to be able to go to her house. What are the signs? What are the signs? Because me and the young lady, we are already into an intimate relationship.
Is that an aggressor in a relationship? Is somebody beating somebody up? Is somebody violent within that relationship?
Yes. So
So who is the aggressor? Are you the aggressor? Are you the one who do the battering? Are you the one who do the beating up when you want to
no,
be in control?
no. She is the one that always want to be in control.
Okay, so she is the, you're saying here she is the aggressor, right?
Yes.
So you are the victim.
Mm-hmm.
So the victim and the aggressor, they can both get some type of counseling, even though not together. But the signs to look for that somebody is being abused in this relationship, again, some signs of physical, signs of fear, you being afraid of your partner, you don't want to go home, you don't want to spend time at home, that partner is controlling, they want to know where you're at, who you're with at all times, they expect you to be home at certain time, the victim defers to you to make decisions, to take charge and control of everything, because they're afraid that if you don't have your way, okay, if you don't, if they don't, if the victim don't do what you tell them to do, there will be some type of aggression of physical violence that's gonna take place.
Okay.
Right? So you're looking for fearfulness, you're looking for bodily injury, you're looking for, sometimes the victim even tries to protect the aggressor, okay, the person that's causing the harm. Those are the signs that you're looking for. Sometimes you can see that person leave the home, okay, whoever the victim is, sometimes they can try to leave or run away. Majority of the time, the victim may not want to leave the aggressor, right? And there are a few things there are a few reasons why the victim may not want to leave the aggressor, the batterer. One of the things could be is the lack of they believe that that person who is causing them the physical harm within that relationship, they feels like the batterer is going to change. Especially for Christian, they feel like, oh, I can pray that controlling, wanting to be in charge behavior out of him, right? So sometimes they believe that their partner going to change, so they stay within that dynamic of abuse, right? The partner would say, oh, I will go to therapy, I will go to anger management classes, I will seek help, but none of that happened, or even if it happened, they don't change. Another reason why a person will stay in a violent relationship where they're being battered, okay, and abused, is because sometimes the lack of social support. You and I were in this relationship. You always beating me up. Okay, you control every aspect of my life. I'm fearful of you. I'm also protecting you because I don't want my family to know that this is happening to me. Again, it could be the man or the woman, because sometimes they stay inside also because nobody would believe the seriousness of the injury or the seriousness of the violence that's going on in the home. So they just decide to stay because sometimes they might be judged, the victim might be judged, and they may not get that support that they need from the friend or the family or the church or whoever that's supposed to support them when they decide to leave the aggressive, the batterer. Okay, another reason is why they might stay in that violence, a relationship where they continue to get beat up and injured, okay, and emotional harm is caused, is because that batterer makes threats. Okay, they make threat like, if you leave, I'm gonna kill you. If you leave, I'm gonna take the kids. If you leave, I will kill your family. If you leave, I will take the house. I will take the, I will take the possession. I will take everything. So sometimes they make threats to the victim, which puts the victim in a fearful mood. It makes them don't want to leave. So these are some of the reasons why people who are in these dynamics, this violence dynamics with the batterer, decides to stay in the relationship. I will pause there, and then from there I will talk about the circle of violence and what it looks like.
Brother Josh, welcome, Brother Josh. You're muted.
Thank
All
you.
right, yeah. Mr. Francis, go ahead.
Can we give it to Brother Johnson? Get Johnny. Let him get. I want to listen more to Catherine tonight.
Brother Josh, if you have any question, come on, let's go ahead.
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. Brother Josh, go ahead.
Are we looking? Are we looking at domestic violence from which perspective? Are we looking from the Western side or the African perspective?
I think our guest, Catherine, it is she discussing domestic violence holistically. She is not because
Because it's not limited to culture. It's not Domestic violence is not limited to culture. It's not limited to race. It's not limited to a tradition. Being violent and injuring somebody to the point of death and causing them pain is not accepted anywhere. Whether you are African, you're American.
you get that.
Well, the reason why I say this, because in the African tradition, if we're
Hmm.
talking about, we go back to tradition, and men are allowed to do certain things in the African tradition that is acceptable in our
But
society.
but beating
But
beating
because
beating
where we
beating
are,
someone beating someone to cause them bodily injury, is that acceptable?
well, you will be surprised that it is practiced in the African society where men discipline their wives. And in matter of fact, the man has several wives. All the other wives would join the man to discipline the other wife.
Okay.
It's a cultural thing that they handed down from generation to generation in the African society. Well, yeah, we think ourselves, it is unacceptable. But it said something, if you notice domestic violence going on, is this something acceptable for the woman to go and testify against her husband? That's what I base on from what perspective, whether we're looking at it generally from the Western side or from the African side, because in the African culture, it's a no-no. Whatever the man's the head of the home, whatever goes on in the home, it stays right there. No matter what, the woman is being allowed to testify against her husband.
All right. So, I will come in. I will
So
answer
that's
that
what
real quick.
make this thing complicated. That's the reason why I asked that question.
No, it's not. It's not. There's a cycle of violence. It's not. It's not complicated at all. Again, domestic violence, the dynamics of the domestic violence is not limited to culture or race or tradition. Now, you have to be culturally competent, all right? Where, in a sense, if beating is allowed in Liberia and you can blood it, your partner, and you can head them, and because that's the culture and that's what is accepted socially, because society is the one who determines what is good and what is bad, right? And then societies also, we also got laws and regulation. So
Then
when I
we cannot exclude society because if society has a part to play, then we cannot
this is
exclude
why I'm saying
society.
it's not limited to it's not limited to culture, it's not limited to race, it's not
But
limited
then,
to
but then
society.
I also want you to understand that domestic violence in the sense, yes, it is not limited to culture, but it depends. It depends how you define domestic violence. Like, for instance, gave the definition of domestic violence in North Dakota. It's how domestic violence is defined in a certain geographical setting.
Yeah,
Okay,
There is
so
no geographical term.
what we may consider ethically wrong could be ethically right in another culture.
There's no geographical term for domestic
Yes,
violence. Violence is violence.
right.
Somebody being violent is them being violent. If you are somebody that beat up somebody and causes injuries and physical and emotional harm, you are a violent person. It was no.
I think what
Can I come in,
Culture.
AB, please? Can I come in? Let me just.
In certain cultures in South America, the men are even allowed to murder their wives.
Huh?
Yes.
This should get interesting.
No,
Yes.
repeat that. Repeat that for me one more time.
There are certain, there's a tribe based in the Amazon. If the woman goes behind a man and disrespect the man can even murder her.
Can I ask a question? Does that
Even
take away the
murder
fact
her.
that it's a violent act that was conducted?
It's a matter of time how the world universally will accept the definition of domestic violence.
Yeah, because what I'm looking at is that, and what Bro George is saying, Sister Catherine, he is saying that what is right in another place could be wrong in another place.
Culturally,
But what we are looking at here, it is the term violence,
right,
domestic violence. So
right.
domestic violence to me, it does not have any limitation. It does not have border. Domestic violence, it does not have border. So that means that what is wrong universally, domestic violence is wrong at all.
Exactly. So whether it's culturally accepted in the West, in the North, is domestic violence is what it is. It's a aggressive, violent person that is wanting to be in control and in charge and see the victim as a object and a possession, and yet they become aggressive and abusive and causes injury to that partner because why they wants that control. So whether in Africa they accept it, it doesn't change the fact that that's what it doesn't change the fact of what a violence is or what the violence looks like. And maybe in Liberia, I can stay in a dynamic of the violence because culturally it's accepted, but in America they're not gonna accept that. So overall, university, like the Mr. Kamara is saying, there are reasons why people stay in it, and some of those reasons could be because of cultural reason again, because they are afraid to leave. It's because this is how they were raised. They were told to accept it. Culturally, it's accepted in our region. Okay, in America, some people don't leave because of what we'll call the social exchange theory, where if I cannot get anything better out there than what is going on in my home, then I don't see no reason of me leaving. But overall, okay, the underlying thing here is there's a violent, aggressive behavior that is being displayed on the victim that is causing pain and harm, whether they choose to accept it or not, or is culturally accepted or not.
All right, let me come in and ask this question. So, only physical harm, violent harm against another individual define domestic violence?
Not another individual, but something that but a person that you're in an
I
intimate
mean,
relationship
the
with.
domestic partner. So, only a violent act or physical harm towards your domestic partner constitute, that's the only thing that constitutes domestic violence?
There's all type of abuse within a relationship, okay, but the violence in itself we're talking about here is the aggression. Partners have the ability, the aggressor, okay, the batterer has the ability to be emotionally abusive. They also have the ability to be financially abusive. Okay, so you can financially abuse your partner, you can emotionally abuse your partner, you can psychologically abuse your partner. Did I say financial already?
Yeah.
You can sexually abuse your partner. So all of these things entails abuse within the domestic violence dynamics. Okay, but aggression, okay, aggression is the leading factor here when it comes to the violence that we're talking about here. This is why they got a circle of violence, which I haven't got into yet.
Okay.
There's a circle of violence. So when you're ready, I can get into the circle of violence and what it looks like.
So we can agree. So we can agree that no kind of violence is acceptable. But
Yes.
here am I. I'm from I'm from somewhere from Asia, and my husband takes me to the hospital. The woman is not allowed to speak to the doctor. That's a form of intimidation. Under no circumstances, the woman is allowed to speak. The woman will speak to the man, and the man speak to the doctor. So that
Right,
that's a
right,
form of
right there. Not to cut you
intimidation.
off, right
So
there. In a sense,
can we
that's a sign
consider
of
that
fear.
as domestic, psychological domestic violence too?
Yeah, because if you are putting fear into somebody, okay, first of all, you
But
want to
see,
be in
that's the
control, and
people way of life, and they are okay with it. The woman is okay telling her husband for her husband to tell the doctor. So
maybe,
now
maybe,
all the police and say, "Oh, the woman talking to her husband before the woman talk to me, man talk to me."
maybe in Asia it would be okay, but in
But
America
in
here, first of
America,
all,
it's here in America, right
no, it's
here.
not gonna first of all, when it comes to intervention, right, in domestic violence situation, they never put the aggressor and the victim together.
Then
You're not
again,
even
that's why I
allowed to
went
do.
back from what perspective. Are we looking at it from the Western definition, the
There is
African
no
definition,
Western
or the
definition.
Asian
There is no
definition?
Western
How
or
are we
Northern
looking at
definition.
domestic violence?
There is no Western or Northern definition. There are cultural
Well, there's no
perspectives.
Western. It depends how you look at it.
I think
The definition does not change of what aggression looks like.
Okay, okay. So if a woman comes to you at a hospital and she refuses to talk to you, but rather talk to her husband, are you going to accuse the man of domestic violence?
I'm not going to accuse the men of domestic violence, but I would
But
see
it's
this. I would
intimidation.
if If I'm knowledgeable on what domestic violence is, I would know the signs, which is some of the signs I say here. The fear, the control. They're not even wanting to talk.
Yeah,
Okay?
but in another sense, is I understand what Brother Josh is coming from. In another
So
sense,
so if you go to a home that where the women wait for the men to eat, the women will not eat until the men eat. So you go to a home, you call the
But
police and say,
let
oh,
me smart here, let me
man,
talk
are you
smart now
eat
too. I
this?
beg you.
Okay. Earlier in the conversation, I
That's
talked about.
abuse. We want to look at the Western definition. That's abuse. But culturally, it is accepted in African culture.
But it does not change the definition of what an abuse is.
yeah,
It does not change the definition of what violence is. Does it?
Brother Francis, yeah, you wanted to come in.
Yeah, I mean, it be
Well, guess what? In the African
our
society,
best,
it is
our
wrong to take
best
your
is
mom to a
speaking.
nursing home because consider it abuse. But in America,
Just
it's okay to take your mom and put in a nursing home.
We are talking about intimate relationship between partners.
It doesn't matter when it comes to in-house violence.
Okay, but Brother Josh, let us know who you there. Brother Francis, go ahead.
Okay, so
Husband put
there was
the
a
wife in
reason
nursing
why
home.
I
Husband
cited
put
the
a wife in
definition
nursing
of
home.
this.
Wife put the husband in nursing home. Is that abuse? In the African society, that abuse?
AB, I need protection, please.
Yeah, Brother Josh, I come to you.
In Africa, our mothers, our wives stay with us till they die. We don't put them in nursing home.
Yeah, but we're talking about violence here. All right, Brother Josh,
I don't
Brother
think,
Josh.
Brother George, I don't think you really understand that. I don't know.
I
I
understand
know that
domestic
you.
violence very well.
I don't think
I
you
have an
understanding
associate in
that.
sociology and
I
a
don't think
degree in
you
criminal
understanding the
justice. So I
violence
know.
part and what
I'm
violence
asking you
looks
all these
like.
questions from every direction.
I don't think you understand what the violence looks like. We're talking about violence.
I know domestic violence. I've investigated domestic violence before. I know what
Okay,
domestic
so
violence is.
what the
But
violence means
however,
to
we
you?
look at it from
What
different
the violence
perspectives.
looks like
We
for
look
you?
at
I should
domestic
ask you.
violence from different perspectives. What you think is not okay may be okay in another home. Have you ever
Culturally,
seen an Indian couple go to family court? Have you ever seen an Indian couple go to family court?
what I'm saying is it could be culturally accepted, but
Have
it
you
does
ever
not
seen
change
an
the
Indian partner
definition
go to
of what the violence is.
family court? Never. Never.
It
And they
still
got
doesn't
some
change
restricted
the
rules you can
definition
look
of
at
what
and
the
say,
violence is.
this is domestic violence, but you will never see an Indian couple go to court for the husband beating her or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Culturally, it could be acceptable, but it doesn't change the definition of what the
It
violence is
doesn't
and what
change
the
the
violence.
definition based on how you define it.
All right.
So you are
Senator,
saying violence can be defined as something that is culturally accepted.
talk to your guys.
It depends how you look at violence.
There is
The
no
men
other
are making
definition for
law.
violence. There is no culturally accepted definition for violence,
Well,
even though
guess
it
what?
could be culturally
Can you hear
accepted.
me, baby?
If you commit adultery in places like Afghanistan,
We're
it's
talking
punishable by
about
death.
domestic violence.
AB, can
We
you
are
hear
talking
me?
about violence.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay, Brother Josh, yeah, hold on right there. Brother Francis, come in.
Yes, it is domestic violence. If a woman commits adultery in the home, the man has the right to go on and feed and shoot
That's
her,
not
shoot
violence.
her to
That is
death.
not violence. Violence is aggression.
Brother Josh,
There is a circle
Brother
of
Josh.
violence that I'm gonna teach you guys about shortly. There's a
Okay.
circle of domestic violence. We're talking about violence here. What violence looks like, maybe Francis or you can pull up the definition of what a violence is. It's where there's an aggressor, a batterer that causes some type of injury, physical injury of some sort to the
Okay.
victim.
Okay, Brother Francis, go ahead.
yeah, okay. Thank you very much, AB. Sister Catherine is speaking from the professional standpoint and definition wise based on holistic standpoint, the dictionary definition, violence, violent, I agree with her. The definition doesn't change. Aggression is aggression. I get it. But just talking about culture, I get that too. But I'm coming from different background, and I caught the topic anyway, and I did it intentionally, and I do not have any credential in this. I'm speaking from the basis of the law. Yeah, for example, in North Dakota and most states in America. And I'm also speaking from the basis of my personal and physical experience or experiencing in our community, our Liberian community. My conversation is coming from the backyard of falsehood and bias. Women in America, our sisters are using domestic violence as conduit to go to the other level that has to do with psychological and emotional control. If you disagree with them, they put domestic violence on you. And when you talk about the police force in America, they are more sympathetic towards women than with the black God. It's a fact. It's all over the place. They start all over the place. There is no cop that's going to come to your door call by the female. The possibility of you getting arrested is 99% possible. Only 1% probably you will not go. Extreme luck or blessing. Okay? So that's my thing. The negative aspect that come towards us as member of the household, the negative aspect that go towards children because of their dad got arrested on bias on lies perpetrated by their mom. In our community, that's what happening. That's where I'm coming from. Everything Catherine is saying, I agree with her. But the one do not agree with that Catherine said that the cops will use their judgment. Most of the judgment used by cops against all the guys. It is evidential, it's right on the computer. And I know for sure, she talked about the other reasons why some of them don't want to leave the relationship because maybe they may not get what they're getting there, so they will stay there. There are instances here in my small town, Granford, where the alleged aggressor run away from the home. Let me use the Liberian English. They run away. And the person who is claiming wolf victim is actually following the aggressor, the alleged aggressor. And that is my frustration. For example, somebody that have been living together for 20 years combined, Africa and here, for example. Now they are telling the police that the person want to kill everybody. But only to appear in court, they never purchased weapon before. How can you kill somebody in America when you don't even have a weapon, when you have zero criminal history? That's the point I'm coming from. I know brother just got some idea, even though he putting it on this stuff here, culture. But my point here is, in Africa, in America, any part of the world, the definition remains consistent. Aggression is aggression, violence is violence. But those who are alleged perpetrators are not actually alleged perpetrators. They are victims. Because the police don't understand our culture, some of them don't even understand some of our family members in the community. So they call the 911, they are screaming when they go there, they go to shoot if you're not lucky. That's where I'm coming from, Sister Catherine. The lies that have been perpetrated against partners in our community, the children are failing in school because one parent is not home, because one parent lied on another parent. That's where I'm coming from. So, I mean, I get it, the cultural issue, the this and that. I don't even want to go by culture. I just want to go by the law. They are abusing the law. Those who are doing it are abusing the law. They are taking advantage of where they find themselves almost that they left the cage. Now they have arrived. That's how I'm looking at it. Those who are doing it, because 3-4 days ago, we have to free somebody who just disagree with their partner, say, I will go to Liberia. Before they come back, they file a complaint against it. That domestic violence.
Princess, I hear what you're saying. I hear everything that you're saying. I know where you're coming from, right? I know that, sometimes your partner may say you're abusing them, but it may not be true. You know, they tell lies all the time. Even in the child welfare system where we get reports that a child is being abused in our home, it may not be true, but guess what? We still have to do our diligence, and we still have to go and investigate to ensure that the abuse is not happening, because guess what? That is our job functioning. That's what we're required to do. It still doesn't change the law. So I hear what you're saying, that yes, the aggressor is sometimes the victim themselves, and you know your partner could lie on you, but it still doesn't change the job that the police have to do when the police are called. And this is what I mean when I said that, you know, the police is then going to investigate, and based on their judgment, their sound judgment, they're going to make the decision. So we still have a job to do. We still have a job to do as child welfare professional when abuse is reported, and police still have the job to do when violence is called in, because the violence may be true, the violence may not be true, but I was called there. So I'm not saying that, you know, that every time the woman calls the cop and say my man abusing me, and then that means domestic violence is actually happening, or the violence actually did happen. Sometimes, of course, it's lies. They tell lies, but the cops still got a job to do, and they got to do their job.
So let me ask a quick question, my sister, based on your own experience, for example, I mean professional experience. So let's just look at it from the emotional standpoint and the psychological standpoint, holding everything concerned on the basis of the law. Let's assume there was a call that is now obviously true in open court. But the children already got traumatized because of police present and they caught one of the parents, for example. Maybe their dad, let me take it from our end. Maybe their dad got caught, and because this is a weekend on a Friday evening, he goes to jail for 2 days, waiting for Monday to go to court. Because the police will tell you we're not a court. I have seen that a lot. We are not a court, go to court the next court day, and you go to police cell. What kind of feeling, what kind of psychological, and how can our community get into that? Because they have already shamed one of the parents by putting them into court, and the children get traumatized. They go to school, they get off balance academically. How can we mitigate that?
All right, so if this is something that is constant, that is happening, trauma don't even have to be constant. Traumatic event can happen. One event can cause trauma. Trauma, we also have to look at the definition of a trauma. Trauma is an event or activity that affects a person's ability to cope. Trauma isn't something that, you know, it have to happen multiple times before you say, oh, I experienced a traumatic event. But if you feel like a situation happens and the child is traumatized, you have to get the child help. You have to get the child therapy. The child got to talk to the counselor. You know, the child got, if the child is feeling you feel like the child is feeling in school because of their ability to cope with the situation that happened. You got to look at, you know, if there's any type of cognitive delays within that child is having in that subject. Do the child need extra support? So I know it is costly, and there's a domino effect to just that one incident where somebody lied. But if you feel like within that situation that trauma was caused, and that child cannot cope with their day-to-day activity because of what happened, then you as the parent is so unfortunate, but you it's so unfortunate that it happens that way, but you will have to get the child help.
So let me ask a quick follow-up question, then I'll give it
Or,
to
or you will have to remove yourself, okay? And this is why I haven't talked about safety planning yet. I haven't talked about the circle of domestic violence yet. But you can go ahead after.
So I think
very, very quick, in a few seconds. So I'm asking the professional, okay? Is there any legal remedy?
This is my advice to every Nigerian in America.
Is there any legal remedy?
No, bro,
the meaning the argument start with you and a female, or the wife or the husband. Take your things and leave. Easily. Get some clothes, get a sheet, go call your friend. You go there and stay there overnight. The next thing you come home, everything okay is fine. Don't Don't stay there. That's my advice to all Liberian men in America. Don't stay there and argue. Do not. Because it's her word against your word. And women are more protected in the system anyway.
I will have to dispute that,
You
okay?
know,
Because
leave.
again, when it comes to violence or a violent situation, you cannot just tell the victim to leave. You got a safety plan.
We're not
Okay,
talking
maybe
about victim. We're not talking about
your
victimization. What
African,
I'm saying is,
in
if
the
there's an
African
issue,
culture, in the
if there's an
African culture,
issue
they
in
can
a
just get
home,
up and go. But
argument starting in the
you will
home.
have a safety plan, because what if the man getting up and go? You tell the man, "Oh, just pack your thing, get up and go." Then the aggressor, which is the woman, decide to take a knife and stab him.
No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
What
here is,
safety
instead of
plan?
escalating the system, instead of escalating the problem, de-escalate. The minute you
That's what de-escalation looks like to you when it comes to a violent dynamics. That's not what's gonna de-escalate the situation. It require planning.
you remove yourself from the position. You don't want to stay there and continue arguing with her. It could escalate to something big. Leave.
But what if you're trying to leave and she stabs you?
What even she's that's a whole
If you did
different
that, she will
situation.
go to jail. You know
Yeah.
that already.
Okay, but then you will,
You're trying to leave, you'll go to
That's
jail.
different.
you
But
will go to jail,
once the
but you
men
will
know there is
already be
something
hurt.
going,
So my
you take
point
it.
here is, when it
Yeah,
comes to
go to
domestic
hospital.
violence, you got a safety plan. You got to plan. You got to have put a safety plan in place. It's not something where you just get up immediately, because remember, again, some people stay because of that fear of I'm gonna, the partner make those threats that I'm gonna hurt you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna take this away from you, I'm gonna find you, I will hurt your family members. They make these statements. This is what all entails of domestic, the dynamics of domestic violence. Okay.
Okay. I think let us give Sister Catherine the chance for her to be able to tell the cycle. The
Okay.
cycle the cycle of domestic violence. Sister Catherine, you have the floor.
Mr. Kamara, I understand I'm on the line to now with African men. It's not easy, but I get it.
I ain't wanted to.
I think you got more combustion.
I'm not here to submit tonight.
You see Fraser in the corner there got no beef here on. So you know.
My husband will watch it live. I'm not here to submit tonight. I here to teach on this on the I'm here to teach on domestic violence. Okay.
Go ahead, my dear sister.
So
We enjoying you.
the what the circle of violence looks like is, first, there's a tension building, right? And I think we said some, what the tension building gonna look, what the tension building looks like. The tension building, it starts with an argument. It starts with a heated fight. um Maybe, weapons are involved, other things are involved within that tension building. So the tension building, it takes place, the argument get heated. And then where the violence comes in now is the battery, it happens. Okay? So that's the second stage of the circle of violence. And what the battery looks like is, the aggressor or the batterer decide to injure their partner. And what that could look like is, of course, beating, punching, pulling hair, stabbing, or whatever they would do to try to hurt that person. And then it goes into the next stage, where they will call the honeymoon stage. And the honeymoon stage is after the battery happens. And the battery, we was taught, is the shortest stage of the circle of violence. Okay. After the battery happens, it goes into that third stage, where it's the honeymoon stage, and that the aggressor or the batterer apologize for what they did. They say they will never do it again. They sometimes go out and buy you gifts. They tell you, say, "Oh, I will change. It will not happen again." It don't have to be the man. It could also be the woman that's doing this. Okay, so they will do whatever it is to, make the situation feel better. And then it goes it goes back into that circle of, the tension building again, the argument. So this thing is a consistent thing. And it's very important because if you stay within that circle of the violence, it can become fatal. It can lead to death. A lot of people die, whether it's again culturally accepted, but a lot of people die within that circle of the violence. So that's what the violence, that's what the circle of violence looks like. So I will stop there.
True. And that's why I tell a lot of people, friends, be it male or female, when you're in a relationship, the minute the man says something to you, call you out of your name, use your derogatory remark against you, or hit you, leave and don't come back. Just let it be over. Because if you come back and think that he's going to change or she's going to change, you're making a sad mistake, because he's just going to continue to build on that, build on that, build on that, and it can be worse. I know you got, I think it was in Minnesota or somewhere, this Ghanaian pastor went and shot his wife in the bank, something like that.
Yeah,
They
yes,
started from
yes.
the home. Yeah,
Why you why you think he did that?
it started from the home, and the wife didn't want to do anything because of what it seemed cultural thing. Oh,
And
leave
because
me in
the
my
wife
house,
wanted
my
to
this
leave,
and that.
right? Did the wife
Yeah.
want to leave him?
And then when she finally decided to leave him, maybe it was too late. He went to the bank and he shot her in the bank. He killed her in the
Right.
bank.
So this is why I want to also get into safety planning when it comes to being in a violent, domestic violent relationship. It's not it's easier said than done when you are not in it. It's easier to say. One thing they taught us is, if somebody comes to me and report that they're being physically abused by their spouse, the first thing I don't want to tell them is leave, because half of the time they don't want to leave. The reason why they don't want to leave is because some of those reasons I already said. They're afraid. The person is threatening them. So you got to plan with that person. It's a process. Okay, leaving is a process. Maybe you got to ensure, like, the aggressor is not home. You got to know his schedule. You got to know the time. You got to be packing the clothes in small. You shouldn't be even notice that the clothes then are being packed. You should, if because sometimes again they don't the victim don't want to leave because they don't have nowhere to go. You can have family, and most of the time the aggressor may know where your family live, and there have been some situation where they go to that family home and kill you and kill the family member because they already told you they were going to do that if you leave them. So you might want to go out of state, out of town, somewhere, but you have to safety plan. There got to be a say. So what we will have to do when it comes to the victim, okay, it's a safety plan with our victim. Number one, they tell us that when it comes to violence, that you don't want to even talk with the aggressor and the victim at the same time. They don't do marriage and family therapy with the victim and the aggressor. They don't advise that. Why? It's because the aggressor tension gonna build up in the aggressor and say, why you telling people I'm beating you? Or the woman gonna say, why you telling people I'm abusing you? So it's just gonna make the situation worse. So they tell us, we learn that you cannot do couple therapy or marriage therapy within domestic violence, but you have to safety plan with the victim. Is not a just, you never tell the victim, say, oh, I'm telling you now, just pack your things and go. um put a plan in place. Okay, if that your family member, if that your child, if that your somebody from the church, the time you get with that person, sometimes they may not even want to talk because they want to protect the aggressor, but you safety plan with them. What time is he home? What time is she home? What time you expecting? You won't be moving small, your things in small. Can you put the apartment in somebody else's name? There somebody, sometimes they don't want to leave because nobody will want to support them in that area. But you have to safety plan. Um, it takes a lot for the victim to leave sometime because there's those factors of fear, control. There's a lot of things in place. So if you're out there and you're in this situation, if you're a family member that wants to be a support, make sure that you are safety planning with the victim, not telling the victim that they should leave, because while leaving, they could get seriously hurt.
Okay.
What?
Like what I was saying earlier, it's not the point of just leaving. It's the point of where there's some people like to avoid confusion. They don't like to argue. So the minute they notice the wife is getting mad, they just get up, take a drive or take a walk somewhere, or the opposite, they take a walk. When they come down, they come back home and sit down and maybe try to talk things over. Not just abruptly packing your stuff and leave just like that. That's not what I was talking about. But yeah, you absolutely right. There must be a treatment plan or what plan that the person needs to have in order to excuse themselves completely from that relationship. But again, I would say to any man, any Liberian man, me I want to talk about Liberian people. Okay, if you having any issue in the home, or woman you having any issue in the home with your husband or your boyfriend or whatsoever, guess what, men? I tell you what, it's not worth it because you will go to jail. You will go to jail. It's her word against your word. If the police come and say, this man hit me, the first thing the police going to do, they're going to ask you, the man, to step outside, out of the house. If you have ever noticed that before, the man always come out, they always put the man outside. Then they question the woman. There's a police officer with you outside. And if that woman can convince the police officer in there that you did something to her, man, look, they're going to take you away.
Yeah. Let me state something like this that happened. A guy. This was a Nigerian guy anyway, and this guy went ahead. The wife thought that the guy was cheating. The girls thought, not to say she have evidence that the guy was cheating. Not evident at all. But she thought that the guy was cheating. Because of that, she went to tell her friend, and her friend said, just call the cops, and then they will put the man out. Just call the cop and be able to say that this guy hate you, and then they will put the man out, and they will be able to deport him. As I'm speaking to you today, that brother have been deported.
Telling you.
So let her that she know that that brother was deported. She now went back to Nigeria to go to apologize to the guy. But the guy record had already been tinted. The guy record had already been damaged.
Yeah.
Now she went back to Nigeria, and this is a brother that was doing pretty much good in the US. This is a man that bought house. She was sent for from Nigeria by that same brother. Now they have to deport him. So, that domestic violence, I hope that we can be able to look at it both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, but for the men, I just tell you, look, Abraham, that it's just straight and plain and simple for men. In America, if you come home and you meet your wife or another man in your house, I'm telling you, my brother, just take your little bag, you go. Don't even try
No
it.
conversation. Just
take your little bag and leave. It's not worth it because you will end up going to jail or prison.
Can I come in with we're talking again? I want us to narrow this. Want us to bring this back in. We're over there.
I
We're
know
talking about.
it comes out of domestic violence. Don't go fight her. Don't fight her because
There's a
you will go to
circle of
jail.
this. What I really want us to understand here. I hear everything you guys are saying in regards to, like, there will be fights, there'll be argument, cheating will be involved. Something could push your button and you could get out of pocket. But what the whole domestic violence look like is actually like a habit. It's something a person who wants to be controlled, that always beating on or hurting somebody, right? Um, that's what this domestic violence thing looks like. I'm not talking about, yes, you could get aggressive at that certain point where you catch your partner cheating and hurt them. And I agree. George, you should walk away for no kind of situation. You should learn to control your emotion. Well, what I came here tonight for was
to educate us
talk.
about domestic violence.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is the violence is a continuous thing. This is a dynamic of something that is constantly going on that could lead to killing that person. There's a violence, there's a circle of it, and it constantly happening to that person. So it's not I heard all of the other relationship thing, that can cause somebody, that can trigger you to get upset or hurt you. Okay, but domestic violence is like a habit, is a controller that's in a relationship that constantly abusing the person, um constantly abusing them, that could lead them to death, and they have to get out of that situation.
Okay, so
It's not a
what
one-time
will you
thing.
say?
Yeah,
What will
yeah,
you say
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Our Liberian brothers and sisters who really doesn't understand this issue of domestic violence? What pieces of advice you have for our Liberian people? Because a lot of Liberian people didn't understand that thing.
They, they,
Liberian
they,
people
they
because
understand. I begging you. I begging you.
A
she
lot
cooking
of,
food.
lot of the Liberian men don't understand it because it's culturally accepted. But we're
Not
in the
that.
modern world. This is the 21st century. And a lot of
Yeah,
women, and even if you come from a different culture, you come to America and you are in a violent relationship where you're being abused, be it you or the man or the woman, they're understanding it now. So
yeah.
my advice would be is be culturally again competent. All right, safety plan. Never tell the aggressor, they never tell the victim to just leave. Pay attention to the signs. If you have a family who this is happening to, you see injuries, you see the person always in the hospital, they're complaining about pain in their bodies, they can't sleep, they don't want to be at the house, they're afraid of the person. And the thing about it is, culturally speaking, these days the violence is even done in public. You go there. I was at a party before, and there's a girl who was in a relationship with a guy who was very aggressive and violent towards her. He literally beat her at the party and dragged her out of the party, and that wasn't a one-time thing. He was constantly doing it, and we tell God thank you, she made it out of the relationship alive, and was able to leave that relationship. But pay attention to the signs. Find your support. Do it slowly. Take your time. You're not gonna be able to leave immediately, but they got resources out there. Every state got a domestic violence hotline. You can call the hotline. They got support groups. They got a lot of things in your community. These We're in the modern world again. You can easily go on Google and look for these help things in your community. Call, you know, and don't another advice would be, don't be, because people will tell you, say leave, 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 leave. Don't go explain this beating while the man is there or while the woman is there. You cannot do counseling with the aggressor. The aggressor gets their own help. Okay, the aggressor will, the when it comes to therapeutic work or intervention, they don't just do it with the victim, they also do it with the aggressor. Because of course it was modeled for the aggressor as a child. Maybe this child, the sub was a beating as a child, so now as an adult they think it's okay to do it. So there's a lot of psychological uh, 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 feelings and emotions that haven't been dealt with, that they need to deal with as an adult. That's why they're taking it on the victim. So anger management classes is there for the aggressor. Therapy is there for the aggressor. Support group is there for the aggressor. So the victim don't want to get help, but the aggressors can also get help.
Okay, so
Yeah,
again,
so
what will you say
I
to
got a question
parents?
here for you. This is my very last, but I got to make a statement right before. So, brother, just keep talking about walk away, walk away, walk away. That's not too bad to de-escalate, enough, especially for African men. Okay, we don't want to be arrested. Okay, that's cool. But okay, I'm looking at the psychological aspect of it. For example, why would somebody, for any reason, both ways, especially the female side, okay, I'm asking, I'm emphasizing on it because we see it in our community in real time. If you talk about one, okay, why would somebody in their right mind, based on your professional standpoint, psychology, for example, in their right mind, just, I don't know, for some reason, because somebody would do something, police can make effect arrest. That same person that make that call in few minutes, in few hours, in few days, they're already gone to the state attorney to go do recording, for example. How can you and your man live together for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, and today this man want to kill you, want to kill the entire family? What kind of spirit is that, my sister? What kind of spirit that? And that statement you feeling begin say, oh, man, I was thinking, say, they play at the police station in Liberia, you just when you go drop the case. Hey, God. No, you can't drop case here. When you do that one, I do it in a brown way. When you do that one, they Stephanie taking it and now your case, now you buy you wasting. And that's the whole circle. That man not get no job to work. Because why? Their public records is already open. Until that case is resolved in open court, that may not get work. So my question here, my sister, you see someone, hey, you know if I know for sure. I mean, I feel sometimes, I don't know how to describe it. Let me stop it there.
Francis, right?
As a community, especially those of us on the blue IB, every day we're talking politics. What can we do to educate our sisters, to educate our brothers, to even educate our adult children? They place here that not Africa here. You can't lie on people like that. Before the people find the truth, the family is hurt. And the family, especially the children.
But Francis, you are doing it right now. This is why.
The second one that occur here, right? No, let me just add this in 1 second. The specific one that happened here, I'm not calling nobody name. Somebody and somebody got 5 children. They're pregnant for one. They're 5 months. They're coming to go to the hospital. 5, 6 months around that corner. For the same man, woman business. They see some kind of picture in the food, they may come from Liberia. Bang! The man want to kill all. They grab the man, they put the man inside $15,000. He can't come outside. 2 weeks, the man there. But that particular thing, the pastor could really solve it. Some of the parents in here, some people in Liberia could solve it. But police keys are over 6 months. The man can't get what to do. Guess what? The very person, the very thing you just said, that same person that make that call police key and carry their husband to jail, now they're calling for help. They can't even get help from nobody. So what is responsible for some of the funny thing in America? We call it crazy behavior, craziness.
But you just said it, Francis, ignorance, the lack of cultural competence, understanding the laws in America. So if you got a partner that just get up and do something like that, is because they're ignorant to the laws, they're ignorant to the culture, they're ignorant to the ways of life. And that's what I'm saying. Having these kind of podcasts and having these kind of conversation will open up people's minds, especially Africans, on what things are gonna look like, especially abroad or in other part of the world. If we go to Liberia, they would know, like you stated, quote unquote. She thought that the police station was like in Liberia, where you would go there and just drop the case. So it's a lack of it's ignorance. Is the person don't know how it works. So that's why they think they can just get up and do that. So this is why this kind of podcasts are important. It's important for people who got the knowledge on certain aspects of these things to use their platform to provide some education on around these things so people can know. So I can just get up, and when me and my husband get into small argument, I say that domestic violence, and I call the cop, knowing very well the cop will be on my side, and it could give me criminal record and all that stuff, even get me deported. Because I think the Liberia.
Mhm. So, will you advise our Liberian people that are traveling to the United States, especially with the DVT coming, couples playing? Will you advise that they have a special kind of class orientation to teach them about the laws and how things work in America before they come here? Because a
That
lot of
would
them
be
come
that would be a
ignorant
very
over that.
awesome resource. Yes, that would be an awesome resource in every dynamic, in every topic, every dynamics. Just provide Liberia as a whole and Liberians as a whole, especially for those who are coming here at an older age and stuff and like that. We need to transfer our minds. We are really backwards, and I'm not gonna get into your politics tonight, but we are really, really backwards, and there's just a lot of things that we need to be informed on. And
You're right.
those kind of classes, resources, anything that can help enhance our knowledge around the ways of life, other places when we're moving to, it will be great. It will help us as a community.
I think that is quite correct, because a lot of our people come to the U.S. They don't know what they're coming to bother with. They just come. They just come with the mindset that
Yeah.
I'm traveling. But
Yeah.
I strongly believe, Sister Catherine, I think your appearance on the Abraka talk show tonight, I think it have enlightening some of our brothers' mind. I think we can be able to do this every.
Not only our brother, special people call me to say they're watching. I said, good job. You watch better and understand it.
And I think every Sunday, I think it will be nice for us to carve a topic. I think for us to be able to discuss in us enlightening our sister and our brothers of mine, because this thing here that you call domestic violence, it is getting out of hand. It is really getting out of hand, because a lot of our brothers and sisters, they have been victimized. No, no,
Yeah,
serious. No, a lot of I mean, I saw one lady one time with bruise on her face. They're like,
She ran the train.
you know. But
The train.
I was not close with the authority for me to be able to ask.
If she had gone to the hospital, they would have asked and they would have called for help. They'll call for you.
But in all, what I'm saying here tonight, and it was nice, having you. But I just want to appeal to you. I think this should not be your last time. I think this should just be the beginning of your coming, because I mean, we can discuss other social topic every Sunday. I think in that way you'll be enlightening our brothers and sisters in mind, and for our brothers and sisters then to get to know you more. I think for them to be able to have you in their corner. I think that you can be able to provide at least little counseling or little talking point for some of our brothers, because there are some of our brothers who are going through some marriage tough things happening in some of our brothers and sisters in marriage. But outside it is good, but inside it is tough. It is tough.
It is.
It
You would
is
tell
tough,
me?
and in doing so, for you to be a light to them, I think that would be a great help, my sister. Yeah,
Yeah. I think she should come back on Sunday.
yeah. Sunday,
And
yeah.
and
Well, first I want to tell Francis, thank you for booking me. I was booked for this show, and every show I go on, I'm booked for it. So, I'm not free.
you book this Sunday?
You booked me this Sunday. You got your topic. I'll be back.
No, AB already got a topic. I mean,
Well, you
you
got a
come.
topic.
Okay,
Ask
we'll spread it
Francis
out
when.
to child abuse. We'll spread it out to child
Yeah,
abuse and all
Sister
that.
Catherine, let me help Brother George a little bit. Brother George, to get Sister Catherine on, you got to pay for airtime.
Airtime?
for airtime, and I know what
Okay.
to pay.
No one has said anything to me about airtime. You just telling me.
Yeah, that
Why?
that's the reason I'm doing it.
We need, the truth, we need to educate our people
I
because
telling you,
a lot of things happening in this country, and a lot of Liberians. There are so many Liberians in prison today
yeah, yeah,
because they just think they can take the law in their own hand. You know, the
Well,
woman cook for me. The woman cook for me, so you be her.
I do a
Okay?
lot of it on my own platform, but when people do
Yeah.
invite me on their platform, they booked me to go on there. So
Okay. Maybe
okay,
that's it will be nice that you come back here, but I'll they will brief me with the airtime thing. I need to know how much it is. We're not going to discuss it here.
yeah,
So we need to have more of this kind of stuff. Not only
yeah.
I see the background there, I see Samuel Twain and all behind there. Yeah, AB.
Political sound there. That's AB ready. Leave that.
Yeah. We got
Yeah,
to
tonight to be clean, but he go put all the boyo men and behind there.
behind it. Oh, get boy too.
So go for job man. So there.
Oh, boy.
All right, all right. I think.
So unless it's
Uh,
the captain close, then she
yeah,
can.
yeah. And
Let's
So
give
what
her
the
time.
bill, Catherine? What the bill?
No. We took care of this already. Leave that one,
No,
please.
what's the bill? $100, right?
the bill was already paid for this
No,
section.
I'm talking
So
about for Sunday.
I don't discuss business on
yeah, yeah. So,
But let
Brother
me
Johnson,
close,
we're
guys,
discussing with
because
you.
That will do that one behind the scene. Thank you for even thinking about that.
yeah.
Thank you.
So I'll close now. First of all, brother George, I want to tell you thank you for challenging me tonight. Um, the last
Yeah, I
time
learned
I
from
was
AB.
invited,
Don't blame me. I learned it from AB. And first it.
the last time I was on a platform, I had another female there, but this time, you challenged me tonight. But I'm glad we all came to common ground. I want
Yeah,
to tell you, thank you, Mr.
it's good
Kamara.
that everybody know it from both sides, and because if you just say all the positive things and somebody come and say something to challenge you, it will just be all easy,
Of
and
course.
so you gotta make it a little tough too.
I expected that tonight. I expected that because sometimes I come across this podcast. And brother Kamara, I want to tell you thank you for just guiding the show. And Mr. Francis, I thank you for inviting me and believing in me. You have been wanting to have me on this show for a while now, and I'm glad I was finally able to show up. To everyone who watched tonight, I hope you do again took some notes from everything that I said and everything everyone else said tonight, and I hope it be a support to you. I want to leave you with this. There is help. Help is available in your local community. Search the internet. They got hotlines. They got support groups. There are resources out there. When it comes to domestic violence relationship, it's not something that you can just get out of. Safety plan, and God above everything. And again, guys, thank you for having me.
We'll
Thank
see
you
you on
very much,
Sunday.
Mr. Captain.
Thank you.
for this.
See you on Sunday. See you on
On the
Sunday.
same time, same place.
All right.
We
Yeah.
keep talking about we can talk about child abuse or rape in a sense
Yeah,
of statutory rape.
Yeah. Social issues, probably social issues.
Yes, where you can
All right.
just put everything in one bundle and just give
All
it
right.
give
All
it
right.
away.
Let me know.
Okay.
Okay, we'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
All right. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
We'll see you. All right.
Yeah.
So what you gotta say about the gentleman that behind you?
Yeah.
They got and were discussing. They got and were discussing the ascension. They got and are sitting up behind me. They got and were discussing the ascension.
And they got a Christmas tree behind it too.
But if you're supposed to use the presidential
Brown
Christmas
envelope
tree,
under that Christmas tree.
Or they want just wear woolly red, something suit. You.
Oh man. But you know what, gentlemen, the working started, the hard work about to start. After January 22nd
Yeah,
is
yeah.
when the hard work actually get to start. You got
But brother
yeah,
George,
yeah.
where do you live? Do you live in Minnesota there?
I'm in Texas, man. I left
Oh,
New
you
York, I'm in
Texas.
Texas.
Okay. We get a lot of followers in Texas. But let's get to small politics, right?
Yeah.
Let us small politics. You know, we do that almost every day.
You know what my mother issue for?
How? Because
Especially
people
the man behind it.
you know, people just talking right now. How do you expect the new Liberia under Joe Walker? Just give us some
I tell you
synopsis.
what, Brother Francis and AB, look, Joe Walker in this case, he's gonna have no choice. Because this government is the government for the people. It's the people that put this government in place. Remember Joe Walker said that he doesn't have money to run his campaign. If the Liberian people believe in him, they will support the campaign. The Liberian people did just that. So the Liberian people are going to hold his foot to the fire. He has no choice. And look, like I said earlier, these guys with the sanction stuff, the sanction didn't go far enough. These guys were sort of gets from generation to generation sanction. Even if there's any dog in the yard, sanction the dog.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
If that female dog, if the dog have puppies, sanction the puppy then too. Yeah. But like I said, the real work starts after January 22nd. Look, I'm
So,
looking at people that come up.
you know the reason I asked that question? I know
Yeah.
Liberia is not a presidential-driven country, but you know they issue a lesser evil all the time. Do you really think, knowing everything we know? For example, I was just talking to somebody behind the scene. I said our leaders don't do better. There is this speaker election business in the House of Representatives, for example. We get the lesser evil. So, Fonati Kofa, for example, is in the lead according to a media report. Musa Belete, another Koyokaya guy, FIFA sanction, had according to the report too, now on the Kunsa. The Senate, we are looking at a little more balance. Probably will get our interest getting the pro tem position, which is John B. Kamara. But this is my disappointment. We have United Partisans elected on the United Party ticket as representatives and senators. But let me focus on the House of Representatives, for example. Where was Kumu? Somebody I'm told who have been teaching accounting at Universal Library. I know some people don't talk, but what has been his own standpoint, ideological standpoint? Has Kumu been a little more vocal for us to get to know what's up? What did the Unity Party block, for example, and the rest of the represent because CDC did not have absolute majority in that house? Allow the CDC to produce speaker and deputy speaker to win the seat sitting. Now that outgoing deputy speaker might like the be speaker. And no, this new Liberia we are talking about. Having a Fonatikofa as a speaker, I just don't live with that reality if it will occur. How do you see them display out mathematically? I really want us, if we can do everything humanly possible, that Fonatikofa is not.
It is a bad idea. It's a bad idea. But again, I know what the Unity Party too, they need to think about someone they will have that will push the president's agenda. Because for Joe Biden to be successful, because the bills he may want passed, the speaker and the vice speaker, they can step on a lot of his bills. So if you go and put a CDC man there, make him speaker, you cutting your nose to spoil your face. You know, Unity Party got a lot of people in the house there that can be speaker. I don't know why they didn't stepping up.
No, the thing about it is
I
my
don't
brother
know.
is that CDC alone got about 25 people elected. But the newcomers, for God in heaven's sake, the independent candidates are about 11. You want to tell me all these people are going to vote for Natik Kufa?
But why themselves can't? Why themselves
And else?
Why they can't run to be speaker? But they want to support this guy from a sedition to be speaker of the house and or ability to be speaker. But you see, you know, that's what happened in Liberia. People who treat Liberian people bad, we reward them with bigger things. We reward them with bigger things. Fanatic Kofa hand being all kinds of stuff as well as ability. But here we are about to reward them with something even bigger. Speaker of the House. You the third person, pretty much the third person in charge. Third person in line to be president. So, but again, man, I would like bring people. But I tell you what, this is where the work going to begin. Let's say ability happens to be Speaker of the House. Number one, ability stay dealing with unpaid taxes. That should alone should have disqualified him from running to be representative. He owed back taxes. The citizens of that country can go after him to pay those taxes, and what we consider maybe tax evasion. He can be prosecuted for that. So he shouldn't be too comfortable if he wins the speaker thing. I don't know so much of the fanatic Kofa guy, but I heard his hands being some tricky things. So if all these things can be proven, guess what? You got your chief prosecutor, you got your attorney general. They know what to do. And I was also focused on this guy, Thomas Fala. Listen, guys, if it can be proven that Thomas Fala brought people from Guinea and Sierra Leone to vote for him, that makes him illegitimate. If it can be proven that this guy brought people from Guinea to vote for him, he should be expelled. That is some of the work we have to do after this thing here. Not only just looking at Joe Bucker fighting corruption for the top. People in the house who feel very comfortable now, the next job we have is to make them uncomfortable, to let them know they cannot break the law in Liberia and get away with it.
Yeah, I've been listening to my friend and brother Francis. You know, you talk about the Unity Party Renaissance candidate, concession candidates, which is Richie Kuhn.
Mm-hmm.
I know Richie Kuhn very well. I know Richie Kuhn is no nonsense guy.
Where has he been?
I know he. No, I come in.
Where has he been politically? The reason I'm asking this critical question because this sedition got an agenda. Their agenda is to stand up to Joseph Walker's government agenda so that he cannot succeed. That's why they're playing protest for January 22nd. And they are serious. And they got stealing money from the public.
You gotta be careful who they make speaker because you need someone that will push Joe Buck's agenda. If you got a sedition there, guess what? He can step on everything the president wants.
That is the reason why. That is the reason Richie Kuhn. Richie Kuhn going to be speaker. You not believe it?
What's the Richie Kuhn guy? I never heard of.
Huh?
Who's the Richie Kuhn guy I know I ever heard of? I don't know. He's not. Is he like well known out there or something?
He is well known in his district.
But he's working with ability. And that's the guy working with ability?
Yeah, that's the guy. I even having a clip here. Let me play you guys a clip. Then I will make my statement right.
Whatever has been agreed will be transmitted in the press release within the next 24 hours.
Why so soon? Critics of the UP alliance and Georgia for the base and opposition and all of that during the elections. Today you are now apparently in this wonderful marriage. What does it hold for you?
That's a good sign. I mean, it means that the UK Alliance appreciates constructive opposition, and there are no permanent opposition. There are opposition based on standing and issues. Right now, the Liberian people have decided who their leaders are and who is the head of the state. Ambassador Yuma Baka has been elected, and so objectively, all of the lawmakers are trying to make sure that we move Liberia forward, irrespective of political party.
Do you think Unity Party is going to take you serious because you used to be one of their opposition?
I normally don't need for people to take me serious. I just have to take myself serious.
Let me at the center of it all in the leaders of the speaker's election. It's very powerful, man. Powerful in terms of wealth, powerful in terms of connections. Just recently we saw 40 lawmakers endorsing him. Are you sure that with your might, 21 lawmakers on your side, you think that storm can kill the man at the center of it all?
This alliance will win the leadership of the House of Representatives. I guarantee you that.
What does 40 lawmakers?
It's more than that.
What does the Unity Party Alliance bring that the political side that is that you decided to the Unity Party?
They appreciate the fact that they need other political parties and other people in an alliance.
That's alliance that will make you victorious. At the end of the day, all the details will follow.
What does President alliance?
He add number to our alliance.
Are you worried that your opponent commands serious financial might and is pulling too many lawmakers away?
We have all of the things to make us produce our speakership. One, we have the power, we have the resources, we are accumulating the numbers.
How soon do we
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Especially when Unity Party won the election. Under no condition can support anybody.
How soon
besides Unity Party leadership.
How soon do we expect this decision to be consummated?
Hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday.
What kind of legislation?
So we'll just take one more question.
What kind of legislation do you envisage holding the speaker's gavel? Your predecessors heading the gavel was marred with conversations about being controlled by the executive. What sort of legislation is?
That is the Richard Nangwe Kunga. That is the guy. That guy is fire burning intellectual. That guy, he teaches at the University of Liberia accounting.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you guys this. Richard Kun, he is not that gana type. But he led to follow something that he believed in. You see the issue of Musa Belete supporting him now. Now, that is to tell you guys that Richard Nambekun, according to the speech that he just made, he never mentioned Musa Hassan Belete. Now, because he know Musa Belete he is in fact indebted to the country.
Yeah.
But what will surprise all of you guys is that when Richard Nambekun win, and then that deputy speaker, it will go to Mema Breeze. Mema Breeze, because she is the lady who is between the two candidates.
But she said she's voting for the other guy already. She said I was going to talk in the open.
No, but did you see Mema Breeze signature on our paper that the people were showing on Spoon?
We didn't see her signature, but she said she voted for she so she didn't have to sign.
This thing and know that the speaker election is January 8th. Now the speaker election is done privately. The speaker election is done behind closed door. So that is the reason why. That is the reason people on fanatic Kofasa, they just wanted to go take some of his money.
You think so?
I'm telling you.
Man, Liberian people, they like to reward bad people.
Look. You have the total number of sedition representatives that are make of 25 members. 25 members of representative from the CDC camp. So that means that CDC is in minority.
It's in a comfortable position. They got the highest if you separate it into three major groups.
Yeah, they get the highest.
But they got the highest, followed by independent candidates.
But the House of Representatives comprised of 73 members. So if you get the number 25, so
that's a good start.
That's a good start. That's a good start. But remember that it's not all the seditions elected representatives that will vote for him.
That's a conversation, but they are saying they're going to vote their own.
Yeah.
They're going to vote their own. Until otherwise, because that's the thing, right? I don't know what happened. Maybe the message was different, or maybe the Liberian people decided to do what they did. But honestly speaking, they did not support the alliance, the Unity Party alliance legislature, or maybe not legislature, but Unity Party alliance. Those candidates that were on the alliance tickets, to be honest with you, especially the traditional Unity Party people. Can you imagine? You know that Unity Party, as far as I know, only one seat for the Senate. In Grand Kamara County, that's it. That's all they got. Unity Party as a party on their own, they got only one seat in Grand Kamara County, Deba Vabla. That's it. Okay? CDC to back up the southeastern vote with the exception of the foreign minister.
Is Thomas Yaya Nimle.
Yeah, Thomas Yaya Nimle of party called Liberian People's Some Restoration, something like that. Okay? So, I mean, when you go to representation, similar thing happen. Unity Party Alliance, including MDR, all together, between 13 and 14 representatives. That's it. Independent candidate got 18. CPP got, I think, few ones. Senior Freedom Party got few. Dr. Mulba Party got one, just like that. But independents got, CDC got the highest as a bloc, as a political party. 25 independent candidates got 18, and then Unity Party got 14. The rest of it guys, divided among those smaller parties. So we got three major blocks: CDC 25, independent, quote unquote opposition 18, Unity Party 14. So if you were to take the majority out of the three, CDC got the majority number. So to push that number to 35, because that's a winning number, it's easier for them as compared to Unity Party pushing down 14 to 35.
Yeah. You're right.
So there's a lot of work they got to do. There's a lot of work. And the way, based on what we are observing, many speaker elections envelope a change. I don't know whether Richard Koo in that position or the Unity Party in that position, because that's how they understand it. You gotta get the people money, especially those who get king. They gotta say, well, man, I spend money. I spend money to get elected. I need some of my campaign money back. That's the first set of corruption there. And Funati Kofa, based on what we are hearing, in the position to do just that. Because they want to be in the position to obstruct the Liberian people agenda. There is nothing in the speaker team for the Liberian people on the side of Funati Kofa. Funati Kofa go into this to obstruct, to use his power to obstruct the agenda of the Liberian people. And that's why we must not support him. And those who are just getting elected, they need to think about that. This is a man in the vibrant country, not super perfect, but fair, structured, and well monitored. And that man can succeed. Stealing from America, $500,000 in North Carolina. and got convicted and self-returned, go to Liberia and become representative. That is who we are. That's what Brother Josh is talking about. Just Body. America said they meant ratty. They meant that ratty man. We don't even need to jail to be eating our jail food. To be eating prison food. The deported job Body, you go to grand jury and make representative.
Yep.
Hopefully this time around we cannot afford to miss the opportunity.
Okay.
I think one of the only thing I see is for Joe Walker to have a very strong and powerful attorney general. With that, a lot of things can be investigated, even accepting bribe as a sitting president in the House or the Senate. It's a crime. You can be expelled from the Senate for that. So, like I said, it's just a matter of the president appointing a very strong attorney general that knows how to do his job properly. Okay, so all those things those guys do in the House, trying to mangle their way, and this, if they do it legally, fine. But if it's done, if they break the law doing it, guess what? In America, they hold it accountable here. You take bribe, you accept bribe, guess what? They hold a hearing on you, they find out they impeach you. And they impeached this guy they just expelled this guy from New York the other day.
Just at all. The expelling for eating campaign money.
Yeah, and they just expel him. So look, friend, I'll just say let him go ahead. And we'll watch. We'll just watch to see the kind of person that the president appoint as attorney general. If this person will actually do his job, because if that's what they're doing, right there, that corruption right there. And if Joe Walker is going to eliminate,
we know that for sure. And hopefully, I'm just hoping and praying that Unity Party is doing more behind the scene to push the button of Kun. I don't know him very well, but I don't think I've been doing very well. And then representative for that matter. This is my own thing, okay? And then Liberian, you become representative at least for one term or two terms, and we don't hear you. We don't know your standpoint on the issue of policy. We can't even know about you. And some of them go to their district, they get booted out. There's people there that serve as senator, one term, they put them out. You didn't do your job. That's it. You didn't do your job. Because Liberian that you just be in the corner, so say all, so say one, so say one, so say all. You didn't do your job. And you know what? It's difficult. Even we combine the two. The magic number is 37 because that's simple majority. The magic number for winning the speaker election is 37 for the total number of 73 members. It's 37. Even if you combine the 18 and the 14 representatives from Unity Party Alliance, they still fall short. They still fall short. It's going to drop to 32. The state need how do I call it, 5 more votes to hit the magic number.
Okay. They
Okay?
can rally that. They got the resources.
If those that get 25 already, if you get 25 and you get that independent candidate vote, that's a big number. You hit 43. And we are hearing for Nantikofa already got 45. So even let's go to the other side, and we do the political map the other way around, they see 25 plus the 14, for example, coming from Unity Party side, you pass the margin number 2. So CDC is in a comfortable position. I understand all of them will not vote for Fonati, but good number of them will vote for Fonati because they have a mission. And that mission is to support us, our hard-earned campaign. That's what we want to do. And so we have to do everything humanly possible too for them not to succeed getting that. But we are in a shaky position, to be honest. Hopefully,
I agree. I mean, we all know it. I mean, the guy,
everything so that we can put good caliber of people. Even in my own district where I come from, in Kulaun district, for example, Clara Masako been in the house for two terms straight 12 years. He lost the election.
Yep.
He lost the election to sedition. Okay? Safakoto. He lost the election, and I don't know how the people thinking, but I'm very positive. I'm very sure some of these former honorable got to hold key position in our government, and they should not. You didn't do your job. You didn't do your job. How you gonna be in that house for 12 years and somebody put you out? You didn't do your job.
Yeah.
That's over there and agree with everything CDC government said.
People can
Since
people
I
people people don't go
was
against you if you
over
do
there
wrong.
for 9 years straight, they put him out and said, we don't need you no more. These are people that were how long in local country. In local
Okay.
country, can you
Okay.
imagine?
Okay, my friend and brother.
You
I
leave
think
their whole
we have reached our maximum limit. Brother Josh, I think you have to send me a friend request.
Yeah, I was saying that, and so we can we talk about this lady coming back Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah. You give a closing statement, and then from there, then Brother Francis go.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to thank everybody for watching. People here and people in America and people in Liberia. I want to thank you guys for watching. You know, we have a lot of work to do. But people, the hard working over yet. The thing that hard work was electing Joe Bucker. No, we have a lot of work to do. If we're going to eliminate corruption, we got plenty work to do. Even the team, Brother Francis talking about the bribe envelope, fanatical fight. If they take bribe, they can be held accountable. So that means the house will be expelling plenty people because people be going to jail. Because we will not sit down and allow it. Because if we allow it, they'll continue to do it. And the Liberian people will not benefit anything in the next 5 years. So I want to say good night. Thanks for the show. Good show tonight. You know, we'll see the madam back here on Sunday.
Okay. Thank you. Brother Francis?
Yeah, we didn't do my commercial, but that's fine. All right, so folks, all we want to tell you, thank you plenty for coming tonight. I think we changed the flavor a little bit. We went to some social issues, focusing on domestic violence here in America. Domestic violence, the bias, the falsehood that our family members and loved ones are inflicting on us is damaging our family. And our children are catching pain out of that. They are failing in schools. And those who are in the habit of doing that to their partner, if you are in a relationship that is not working for any reason, your partner is saying something to you that you don't take it. The best thing, I will go with Brother Josh on this, walk away. You get it right to get married, you get it right to divorce. Life is actually impaired. If you cannot pick up the person, I don't know what people like to call this time. I'm not picking them up. I will pick them up when I'm done with my closing. It is not a good idea. If you want to clean the child and your partner say, no, you can't clean them, I got to clean one too, and that one will make you there and call the police and lie on them, you are doing it to yourself, you are doing it to your conscience, you are doing it to your emotion, and you are also damaging the children too because of greed, anger, and ignorance of the law. This country is not Liberia. I'm talking to my Liberian people. I know other African communities doing the same thing. But I'm talking to my Liberian people because I'm a Liberian man in the community. I know it for sure. Personal experience and community service experience. People are lying on people using the quote-unquote domestic violence as a conduit of revenge because they had an argument. Because their partner told them, I gotta go to Liberia. So upon return, they have to go to jail. Okay? Because their partner told them, we got 2 children, I got to clean one. So they have to go to jail. Because their partner told them, I cannot pay all the bills, and if you want to do anything, you can go ahead. They have to go to jail. My people, every action on the part of our lives, every action we take, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Sunday coming back to you. You will have to take care of the children until that man returns to work. You will have to take care of the children until that woman returns to work. But on the basis of evidence, statistical evidence, majority of those falsehood calls, lies, call the police and lie to them, have been done by our sisters in our community, our women in our community, whether you brought somebody, whether they brought you, whether you're kin together, my people, you need to stop. You need to start, and AB, Captain talked about the cycle. I actually got it print out. The next time I will I will show it to our people. I got it here, but I put it somewhere I could not grab it. Okay, I got the entire cycle. Okay, those songs that you are talking about, they are there. Okay, so my people, you think you plan that, you know, sometimes we will come here with real conversation, real in the sense, so people in like it, we don't get many people following us, but by the time we can't talk politics every day. They play we live in here, we got to discuss the issues right here. We got to discuss the issues right here. Even the issue of race. These people, these white against us. And there are a lot of us don't even know where to start from. The law in Liberia is different. The law in America here is different. If you lie on somebody here, the police pick them up. You can't drop that case easily. Only the court can drop it through the Attorney General of your state. The court is a neutral body. When you accuse somebody of wanting to kill you, when you accuse somebody of domestic violence, that case no longer for you once the police take it. Your man will go to jail. There will be bail out the next court date, okay? There will be bail out if they get the money. The state take it. They want us. You can't take that case from there easily. They're not, bro, I'm telling y'all, they're not LRB police station yet. They play that different play. Don't say, oh, our thing is here, I will just go drop it, and you know the way we can do it, like, bro, that's not true. It will not work. So you need to stop. If the relationship not working, life is impaired. When you get married, you can divorce, you can separate. When you get hungry, you eat food, your God get full. Hard time in, good time can come. And not working. Walk away or divorce. And we're happy to do it. Almost free. Pay the court money, okay? Thank you very much.
Let me see your letting play. I say, let me see your letting play. Jamo, let me see your letting play.
That was the voice of Francis Kangoma Donor. That was the voice of Francis Kangoma Donor, brother Josh. So be with us this coming Sunday, I believe so. Be with us. See you when we see you.
Let me see your letting play.